that I aired out
Why
myself.
you air yourself out like that?
Good with the hey. I thought it was like therapy for you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, once you start, um, you know, people love the word narrative, you know. Like,
Yeah,
I always some
yeah.
people didn't even have a hold to that word.
Yeah.
Once you start standing for certain things that are like, you know, like misogyny in hip hop and like specifically what I'm talking about in the book, it's like once you start talking about stuff like that, you kind of have to like understand your role in it, even if you're a woman. And then, you know, writing about it, I think made everything a lot more authentic and credible. So, you know, like, I mean, there's a lot more women now in hip hop, but you know, it's
But no
always
one's
been a boys'
writing
club.
their perspective like that. You know what I mean? No one's.
No, that's good.
Everybody has a
The
unique
top
perspective.
left
Like I
one,
gotta get into Jean
it's just
Grey's
a
book.
phrase,
'Cause I
so
think
that's
he
good.
Probably,
That's good.
yeah, you gotta get into hers. Like I'm sure she wrote a banger, and
okay.
I'm not sure exactly what she's talking about, but like I would imagine it's like a good amount of her story,
That's dope.
biographical, like you know, autobiographical.
Yeah, you wrote
Yeah.
a lot, yo. So, Chris, what's good, man? You good? Because you know, I think
I'm
I
good.
hear echo.
You know, like
There was
last time I saw you, we was just working on some photos and
Yeah, I know.
for this album I
You
have
was in
with
the booth.
Fess.
You was in the booth. How that project going? Or-
It's still going. It's a slow cooker.
okay.
We started out to do 10 songs. Now we're doing 20.
Okay.
So now we're in the mixing phase.
Okay.
20 songs is a lot though.
yeah,
so,
that's a lot.
It's
and each
That's a
one I'm
healthy-
giving.
quite ambitious now.
Yeah, now it's like, and we're still trying to figure out if it's gonna be, you know, 2 albums or 1. You know, how are we gonna break everything up?
Yeah.
And who's the producer?
Best Grandiose.
Grandiose. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to chop it up with him, too.
Yeah, you should definitely get him down here.
How's Angel?
Angel's good. Angel's good. She's teaching yoga 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
she just keeps getting, you know, sometimes the path opens itself up to you, and her path has definitely included not only music, obviously, but this yoga thing that she started training in 2020. Now she has 500 hours of training and teaching and learning of yoga. So she does workshops. Right now she has 2 workshops that she's like really building and pushing. One is for grief. You know, just kind of being upfront about your grief, whatever it may be, and then doing the yoga flow, which is like real slow and therapeutic. I went to the first one she had, and man, hey, listen, I was crying before they even started. I was sitting in there like, like on my yoga mat, like,
Oh,
you know, like
that is some serious work.
yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Man, yoga is no punk. Like, and don't get into the advanced because.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Why?
advanced
Because the
at all.
poses?
Nah, you are using 100% your own strength for everything, and then some of it is stretching too. So you extending and you still using your own strength to hold yourself
Yeah.
for periods of time.
Yes. lot of strength involved with it. You know.
That's good.
So she's doing a grief workshop, and then she's also doing a cannabis workshop, which is
Oh, nice.
Oh, dope.
yeah. So those are the things, you
Flavors.
know, that's kind of like the everyday, and you know, she's an entrepreneur, so there's just a lot of like admin and things, you know, not fun stuff, but then
Adult stuff.
yeah, but yes, exactly.
Adult stuff.
So I work at Audio Tree,
Oh,
and
word.
have you heard of Audio Tree?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm one of 3 rotating hosts on there,
Okay.
and then I work for the Reader as well.
So what you do for the Reader? Or
I'm a
both?
con-
What you do for both?
So for Audio Tree, I'm one rotating host. It's like kind of like Tiny Desk, but
Oh,
it
dope.
has a little bit of an interview element to
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It ends up being around 14, 15 minutes of chatty patty stuff in between like these kind of mini sets of music.
Okay. Live instruments.
Yeah, a lot of live bands come through, so a lot of different genres. Some hip hop comes through, not a ton,
Okay.
but definitely some hip hop has come through. A lot of hardcore, a lot of punk, a lot of rock leaning stuff. But there's a lot of good pop and soul and all kind of stuff. So I've been that's been keeping me busy and then so that like for that stuff I have to research other bands.
And is that interesting, deep diving? And well, is that part of your journalistic
Yeah, I think
behavior now?
like it kind of has sprouted those opportunities from the book because the beginning of the book I'm doing a good amount of reviewing of these albums that I grew up with.
Right, that's true.
Exactly.
So there's like a bit of a music journalistic, kind of slant to that.
Right.
So from that, I was able to get an opportunity to write, for the Chicago Reader. Just kind of, I mean, not exactly just based on that, but I think that was helpful on the resume to be like, I already kind of did this and can do this, so I could just keep doing this, And then, yeah, it definitely, to answer your question, absolutely yes. It helps keep me grounded about how many people do music,
Yeah.
I think sometimes as rappers, as creatives, we get in our heads about our own work. And it has helped me to kind of stay grounded about how there's so much other music out there that a lot of people from all different walks of life. And, like some people, this is their 24-hour-a-day job. Some people, they have like whole full-time jobs, but they still have made it to Audio Tree to do this kind of like, for some people, it's a really big deal, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's interesting being on that side of it, I did Audio Tree in 2014, I believe, 2014, 2015.
Okay.
And it didn't have the interview element. We just kind of played.
Okay.
Which was dope. I mean, I want to do over, but.
Oh, as you should.
But
as you should. What, you going to interview yourself?
That would be great, right? So that's keeping me busy, and I find a lot of new bands that way. I love music. We all love music, so I like, I just like good stuff. So if it's a genre that I'm not really slapping folk music all the time, but I've interviewed some great folk artists, and so it kind of keeps my appreciation sword sharp, of just really appreciating music.
And that keeps your creativity on edge too.
It does. It helps with the creativity because sometimes you hear stuff that makes you think about music in a slightly different way,
Yeah.
Just even the approach and just talking to musicians and stuff. It's cool to hear their perspective on different things. So.
And you was always the type to branch out because our history together.
Yeah, Nacro forever.
Yeah, Nacro forever.
You gotta get the tattoos.
Forever. Right, we all need tattoos. But yeah, you always was the one to branch out and went for different beats. You look for the new stuff and and things kind of fell in your lap too. You know what I mean?
A little bit of luck, a little bit of, super grind,
Yeah. So do you miss the artistry back then versus today?
The artistry in like myself or just the whole thing?
Well, everything. Yeah.
Well, I think for myself, I've grown as an artist. So I do, some days it's nice to reminisce fondly about the hunger that's there.
Yeah. Right.
The lack of, I still have responsibilities, but I had way less when we were getting started, kind of fresh out of college, that age,
I remember we had that talk in Cali. You was like giving the whole scheme, like, yo, this is it.
Yeah.
And rapper or more rapper.
I mean, I think when you're young and hungry, you kind of have to be on that, like, no, this is it. This is plan A, B, and C.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to be coming from that collegiate and then going into chemistry. That was like a cute little thing on the resume to be like, yeah, I'm a chemist. And I'm glad,
right.
that was good for the lore, but having that, and coming right into hip hop, meeting y'all, doing it on a much bigger level than I had been doing it. I think we were discovering new levels together. So because of that, like there was a bit of hunger, a bit of naivete, dare I say, just, you know, just that youthful ignorance too. You just like, I'm ready to go 10 toes.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And dive right in.
And I think I would do it again, and then, you know,
so that's,
every other lifetime. You
right,
know, I
right.
think it. You know, but now I've witnessed a lot, experienced a lot, been humbled, been, you know, gassed. It's just a lot of. It's just, you know, at my age, I definitely have, as we all do. We have enough stories, and we're kind of like the elders. You know,
Yeah.
like,
That's an important thing to say.
yeah. So
Sometimes
like
we forget.
yeah, so
we have a
I'm
responsibility,
yes,
right?
I'm trying to come from it from a bit of a more responsible angle, and then also, you know, be proud, actively proud of what Chicago's doing now, even if I'm not up on everybody that's, you know, having like a lot of motion, you know.
Right. How you feel about the current scene of music, or Chicago scene?
We just never not had people making waves, but I think right now is maybe the first time since maybe, you know, 2012 that it was like some national stuff going on. We have our, like I said, the elder states people. We have those. We have our classic artists. We have our young people that are like doing a lot of great things.
Yeah.
And then we have our intermediates, meaning just in age.
Yeah.
You know, the Chances, the Sabas, the No Names, kind of that kind of class, where they're not necessarily elders yet, but they're getting up there in how many years they've been in the game.
Yeah,
so like, we're like twice removed from like cycles of interest,
Right,
I think.
right.
So I think it's a great time in Chicago again, because there's some artists that are really doing some great things, and of course, I mean, our underground is, you know, it's just like
nuts.
yeah, just bars and stories, and, you know, just that kind of Chicago flavor that's really really good to hear, you know. I think the kids are all right.
The kids are all right after
Yeah.
all. Oh, shit.
And then we have our people that always on come with some interesting stuff,
That's
you know.
That's true. That's true. So that's dope, man. Glad that you're here, Sam.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
So we just gonna chop it up on some other stuff, yo. How you feel about Joey Badass in these battles going on?
I was keeping up.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have not. I think there's a couple that I missed. I mean, you know, with the Drake and Kendrick beef, it was
Let's get into that. Go
it was
ahead.
it was enough. It was a lot of music, but it was enough to like absorb. You know, it was enough to take in.
Right.
This has just been so many people putting
It's been
in there,
it's like 100
and,
West Coast niggas versus Gorilla.
Yeah.
and then it's you know, it's people.
I just caught that.
It's like, why are you in this now? You know,
Exactly.
I'm thinking a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of that. Like, well, why the hell are you in this month? You know,
Yeah.
like.
But
no
don't
one,
you think it's their chance? It's like, all right, well, this is my chance.
I mean, Raz Cats had his
That's like if someone threw a shot, like, all right, fuck Southside Chicago.
yeah.
When that opened the door for so many people. To
I
say
do
something.
understand that saying like too much West Coast dick licking. I do think that was like very premature, because
Okay.
it's like, well, Kendrick just kind of did.
He was
this.
mad because he was on Super
Kendrick,
Bowl.
when
He had
Kendrick,
this look.
when Kendrick first came out, they were like, oh, West, but it's been a long time since Kendrick first came out.
Kendrick said he was the king of New York.
That's crazy.
And New York. In New York.
Yeah, but nobody cared.
Well, I mean, just for the
You know,
I'm
fact.
sure people.
I mean, like, New Yorkers cared, but not enough, because at that time, who was really repping New York right?
And that's one thing I'm looking at, because it's like, Joe.
Yeah, who is the king of New York?
Right now?
Because if you talk in New York City,
Who, West Side?
No, he's not New York City.
if you say New York State, then you gotta mention Griselda. But if you say New York City,
That's
it's like,
excluded.
is it a drill artist?
Busta Rhymes?
What?
No. Busta Rhymes had a moment where he could
coulda-
have been argued for that.
Yeah, he could have went there.
Like he
Yeah.
had a moment. Like
Yeah.
he's an iconic dude. That's still active, but no, he's not no king of New York.
Hey, like
If there's
Ebro is-
one.
ain't no king and nothing.
Ebro said it best. He said that 50 killed all of that.
Yeah, he did.
He destroyed the concept, which is why no one is really buying and talking that way no more.
If we just say it, that would just be Jigga, I guess.
And
Right?
we
That would be the
stick with
last
that?
real one.
Yeah, or Nas.
Jigga,
Nas
Nas.
never claimed it though.
Yeah.
Nas never wanted that.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Africa.
Saying you're the thing of the you know.
Yeah, I mean,
city.
technically, if we really want to be official, Diddy was the king of New York.
Oh.
He ran the city.
Right, that was mayor of Rap City.
Did he run the city?
Man,
They got an answer for that.
But like we're kind of going all over the place, so let me
Right.
make sure I put a pin in that and answer the Joey Badass question. I think Joey Badass did a valiant effort. I think he struck while the iron was hot. There are a lot of people want to, rep up for the West, and I think people have been doing a great job with, kind of the baton that Kendrick kind of doing that a little bit, and he's having bigger moments than I think he's ever had. I
I
feel
think
like
this is
he's
the best
had,
Joey Badass moment.
Yeah, you think so? I was
I
saying
don't
that
remember
about Kendrick,
anything
so-
else
besides his debut,
Yeah,
right?
his debut.
Well, so he had two moments.
What was
He had the Premier moment when Premier co-signed him, and that really was when like he started being all over the nation. And then he had the album that followed that was pretty much his biggest album in terms of like culturally.
Never heard.
You never heard any of that? Like the one with Christ Conscious?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely was paying attention when like Pro Era first came out.
Yeah, I
you
like
know.
that. Yeah.
When Steve passed away, that's what killed the momentum and put him in his
Sure.
depression.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah.
he lost it.
Yep, for sure. That was a blow. Rest in peace to Capital Steez, who got brought up a lot in this battle.
So that's
Well,
what
not
the
a
West
lot,
Coast
but enough.
guys were saying.
And well, because some people are saying that he's nothing without him. Some
Yeah,
people.
some people say without Steez, the Pro Era would not have gone as far. And Joey Badass in particular would not have gone as far.
But Waves was a banger.
Mhm.
Like that song is like to this day, like that to me goes down in the classic songs.
Yeah, I mean for
For real?
sure.
You never listen to Waves? Like he's saying he
I look, man.
Come on, man. I haven't heard
This was the
everything.
time I wasn't listening to everything.
I got you.
So I don't know.
But Waves is something that I feel like everybody
He's
should
like, I'm
listen
being
to.
elitist.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to him.
That's a song that
Coming
you
down
should
the
listen
pipeline.
Yeah.
to. That and then the album 1999.
I didn't listen to West Side when that first dropped. It took race to convince me.
I was confused because there was West Side, then there was at the same time Gilly the Kid, Willie the Kid,
Yeah.
all these different dudes were all like in this space.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's going on with this new sound? And then he started to have all these wrestling references that kind of caught me. I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Right.
And then it was just like, this is interesting because then the grimy production, I was like, this is not right. Something's wrong here. Like, I feel like I'm in a time warp.
So Joey Badass didn't have that effect on me. So that's why I think.
Yeah, the time warp I respected because it felt authentic and not like
It wasn't
fabricate.
contrived.
Yeah, exactly.
If I
So,
wasn't just as pen and then like, you know.
yeah, no, that
like,
wasn't. No, it just
All right.
yeah.
But he was a young cat. Was you listening to young cats? Like he was in high school rapping.
Nah,
I
like-
mean, yeah, nah. We're a little older than that, so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like that too. About there's some artists. I'm like, man, if I was just younger, I probably
Yeah, I
Be
would
into
dig
him
it.
more. Yeah.
yeah. So I think he was like very palatable, kind of nostalgic '90s boom bap rapper. Where not just just that sound wasn't really big anymore at
Yeah.
all.
Right, that's
So I think he was kind of keeping that torch alive, which respect for that. But yeah, he never really like caught me at a I went I listened to his stuff for the most part, but yeah, I'm not like the biggest Joey Badass fan, but he's great. He's good. He's really good.
Did he win this battle? Because everyone said that he
There
won.
hasn't been a real battle yet.
What do you
mean?
There's no, because there's
No,
one.
no, nigga.
Listen.
No, I'm not having
I'm
this.
gonna-
We're not having this conversation.
Who is the battle against?
Daylight, the other dude.
So, okay, how many songs?
Shit, they dropped like 5 of them in the past 24 hours.
That's my point. This is still early, so it's not.
It's over.
No, Daylight
over.
put an end credits
Yeah, in
on
the
it.
credits. It's over now.
It's over.
I feel like there's still gonna be some
I mean,
people
what else is
throwing
there?
some shrapnel. But I think if you're talking about it,
Ray
the
Ban.
only ones, Ray Vaughn
Yeah, Ray
and
Vaughn.
Daylight
Yeah.
are the only ones who are very
call
much
them Ray Ban.
qualified to have.
To go.
Ray J is funny. Everyone else, I'm like, I get it. You're kind of like putting the West versus the East kind of thing happening.
But he was by himself, so.
But it was just kinda
Raz
like-
went at him at first. Nobody, and it just kind of like nobody paid attention.
No one, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the song was aight,
Well, see.
you know.
And
I
look,
think-
and we had just gone from, like, come on, man, we just got one of the best battles of all time.
What's
We're
that?
coming off the heels of that.
So
Kendrick
the Kendrick
and
and Drake is the
We're
best
coming off
battle
one
of
of
all
the best
time?
battles of all time.
I mean,
Like,
that crossed boundaries. It definitely did that.
that's some shit where like, okay, Joey Badass done threw his 2 cents in, and it's just like, okay.
Okay.
Well, to be fair,
Yes,
Joey
like,
been throwing his
okay.
2 cents in every single year. Every single album, he took shots at everybody consistently. And people would try to respond, but it wasn't never catching fire. People's responses never hit. Kind of like how Kendrick kept on challenging, throwing it out there. People would try to respond in New York, and nobody ever caught fire. It never picked up wind. So this is the first time that when Joey has done it, where somebody finally said, okay, I'm tired of you. And maybe it was because of the Kendrick battle.
Yeah, because he dissed the whole coast when they were having a moment and haven't had a moment in.
He like threw an egg.
Yeah.
Boom!
But I don't like what y'all are doing.
Yeah, boom! Boom! Hey,
Like,
hey!
you mad at a whole
All
coast.
that rapping, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
It really was just to get Kendrick's attention, but Kendrick ain't
So
gonna
should
battle him.
Kendrick's
No.
respond?
Hell no.
Kendrick don't respond to nobody.
Yeah,
That's
this
the thing
Drake,
that I told
the Drake
you.
thing
It's
was,
the
I just
sport.
think it was just like, okay, this is enough. After he heard like first person shooter, I think he was
Yeah.
like, okay.
The song he was supposed to be on though.
Yeah, and then they kind of slick dissing him on there. All right, okay now. Now I'm gonna say something. Now I'm gonna dish you on future shit.
Did Drake bite off more than he could chew?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Drake's a great rapper. He showed up for the
You gave
most
him
part,
a big
but
shout out in your book.
I did. And this was before. I feel bad. I want to take that shit back.
Too late.
I do a repress, take it out of there.
It just mark out the word. Sharpie.
Yeah.
But no, it's a worthy acknowledgement in context. Now it's a little different, but back then it meant something different.
Yeah, I mean Drake's a iconic artist. People throw that name, that word around, but like for the better part of 15 years, Drake has been just doing his thing and setting records and doing the cross genre sort of thing for not only hip hop but pop music. Has brought
Yeah.
hip hop into bigger spaces. You know, still keeping it very much hip hop. I don't know what this arc is, what this Karen
Base.
arc of, getting into battles, which he's already participated in,
Yeah.
getting into battles, losing, and then suing
Yeah, that
the
was
record label. That's insane.
Right.
And just the most brat Karen shit. Like you've actually lost battles before. You never
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that was also just that was opportunistic for a different reason.
mhm.
It just happened that it was around the battle.
Yeah, I think the timing worked out to where he could, try to leverage some things we understand, some things we don't.
Yeah.
Do I think he's gonna win his trial? No.
No, he's not. He's
no,
not.
I don't think so.
The industry's too
Think what?
big for
Is Drake gonna win his lawsuit
You
against UMG?
There's a lot of people. Salt and Pepper is going against you.
Everybody's. I mean, it's been
People have
years
been
of
jumping
this.
out the window after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh well, we can sue them for that.
Right.
It's like, not really.
Right.
It's like, not really.
No.
You
But I
agree.
mean, I guess you can try. You can waste the court's time and
Yeah.
You know, waste
when
a bunch of money.
When you suing corporations,
Yeah, man.
I mean, it does take a lot of money to fight against it.
Yeah,
It
look
take
at
a lot
Daylight.
of time too. So yeah, Daylight. How long it took them?
I mean, is it over? I don't think it's
I
over.
don't think it's over. So Salt and Pepper is suing Universal for the same thing. They don't have the rights and masters to push it and shit like that. And
But what was the contract say?
And that's what
That's
they
the
saying.
key.
They saying they will work for hire. They will.
Oh,
hire.
they
Yeah.
love bug
So,
in there.
yeah. So the
That
song.
was always the thing with Salt and Pepper with their stuff, because it was like their biggest bops. It wasn't, you know, they didn't have the paperwork. You know, it was it was the producer guy.
Yeah.
Because you know,
Right,
it was
yeah,
always
yeah.
the dude that was in the stuff. Like he was a producer
And the writer.
crazy.
and the writer, and
yeah.
he definitely was the ones filing with ASCAP because they was not getting.
And they wasn't
If they would
focused
work
on
for
that.
hire, they just got a little lump sum, and that was it.
Yeah, and they should have addressed that a long time ago if they was gonna address it.
Yeah, hard to come back like 30 years later.
Yeah, I mean, all the money that's been made has been made. The songs are not gonna get any big. Like Shoop's not gonna get
But
bigger than it did from
They
Deadpool.
want those
movie.
songs on the streamers.
But Deadpool made it pop again. That's why they trying to get money.
I was gonna say if
That's true.
media, if it's you know, used for a video game, TV show,
That's when everybody come back.
or movie, that could blow it. That's because in our youth, that's what happened with Bohemian Rhapsody
Yeah.
by Queen,
Mm.
because Wayne's World used it,
Right.
and it was like this big moment, and
back
everybody
up.
was like, "Oh, what's this band?"
Yeah.
And they like kind of blew up again for a little bit, you know, during the time of that movie.
Right.
So it can happen, but yes, it's very hard to make the case that like they're gonna it's like, oh Shoop and What a Man is gonna
Right. That's gonna come back
start
up.
climbing the charts again, you know.
And that's all you got.
Hey, yo. Hey, that's
Like,
their
in terms of
song.
big
That's
hits.
not fair. That's their records.
No, well,
Those are bops in my category,
Yeah.
but they're not. You're not.
You have no leverage.
Where is it on the? It's not on the charts. It's not charting. It's not. It's got
Yeah, like-
relevance, but it's not like popping like that. Those
Yeah,
songs
just-
are just classic songs.
What about pushing? and shit?
nah,
Classic songs.
it's not gonna go there. Push it.
Whatever
Push it
they
just
make,
get like royalties a little bit.
It is plateaued. So whatever let's say it makes $1,000
Right,
a
okay.
year
Yeah,
off
yeah.
royalties.
Right.
And I'm just saying.
No, just a
a
figure.
number. I'm just
Yeah,
saying a
throwing it
number.
out, Right.
Let's say they make $1,000 a year off royalties. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not a ton of money, but it's like, I would understand them wanting it, but it's not no ton of money that they're gonna get every year
Right.
Yeah.
from that catalog, unless of course it gets used in a show or commercial or something.
But it's got to be something like that's gonna like when a song gets the intro or outro of a TV show, so it's gonna be playing for the next 10 years.
Yeah, those are big checks. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like, and those are very possible. So you could like argue like I need that, even on the possibility
Yeah.
that, you know, these can make some money like that. Like I need that. I don't want you to have that as
Yeah,
a
I
record
just-
label. I need
yeah,
that. So
need it.
I mean, we'll see. Because if their contracts are over or whatever, have expired and all that, I mean,
But if you work for hire, that don't mean you don't. That means you don't.
You don't have a contract to stand on.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't have a clause to stand on.
Just hired you. Do the jig. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even double back.
Nah,
Crazy.
you have no say because you have no name on anything.
Listen, kids, get your deals together.
The work for hire shit is crazy too.
Especially when you're the artist that's not only.
But I mean, for a label like that, though, like I didn't
People
even
use
know.
that shit to this day. Like you come in the studio, they want you to do something, and they just pay you flat out fee right there.
I mean, a full song. I understand background work.
No, but
No,
even like
full
the house
song.
music songs, them singers on those
I've done that
songs,
before. I've written songs for people, just come in the studio, wrote songs, and took a fee.
took a check and got
For
out.
real?
Yup.
Yeah,
You
because
can-
it's kind of like on the one hand, it's like this song may or may not do something. If it does something, and it's just kind of like a choose your own adventure. Like if I'm getting points on it, sometimes you can get both, and that's really dope.
Right.
You can get
Yeah.
some on the front end and the back end, and a lot of artists are fine with that, you know. But a lot of people have done that. Like you just come in the studio and work that day, and whatever it comes out of it, and you get your fee up front.
Yeah.
and you walk out with money that day, but you can't come back and
Say, hey, yo, cuz.
Now that it's successful, you can't say
Run
no.
that
yeah, you can't wait till that motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, and some people have been able to come back when there's
When
like,
they had good people they were working deals with. Certain people are cutthroat. They're not gonna give
True.
you that chance.
That's true.
A good person, maybe, you know, they be
and
like,
if nobody's paperwork is right, you can definitely double back.
yeah.
You know, but if there's a party, one of the parties got their stuff figured out, yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Do you like writing for artists?
Yeah, it's
Like-
fun. It's
like
a fun way to
ghostwriting?
sharpen the.
Yeah, like
yeah.
those, right.
It's a fun way to keep the pen sharp. Like I did it a lot when I did the after school program.
Okay.
So I did a lot for like teenagers,
Oh, okay.
which was fun.
Yeah.
And then with the Rapper Chicks group, we wrote a lot for each other.
Okay.
Mm.
But mainly it was me and Angel writing for everyone.
How many was collective in that group?
4.
4. Okay.
But we like had different members at different points.
Okay.
Yeah, but we were writing a lot of songs, and then we done some ghostwriting and then some licensing work where they say like, oh, we want a song about losing your loved one, and then you like make a song about it and like get a fee.
Mm.
What's your writing process? What gets you in the zone? What type of do you search for words and stuff, or where's your creativity box look like?
I mean, I can do it a couple different ways. The best is when I'm like kind of outside of the house and I have time to sit and really like take in my surroundings. And if I'm working on beats, I could do the whole like, just someone send me a pack of beats, I'll put that on and just listen until I kind of catch something. If I catch something, great. If I don't, that's fine too. So nothing too out of the ordinary. But I do keep like a long list of notes and voice notes because I'll come up with like little bars here and there.
Yeah, you got to
that
jot
you
them
can
down.
build off of.
Yeah.
So there's been times where I've been able to just go into my notes and piece together like really good stuff.
Yeah.
Just based on little like mini notes that I've accumulated.
Necro way, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I get a flash of inspiration in some way, as it were, just like what I just said was kind of fly. Let me just like write that down. Write that down.
Let me voice memo myself real quick.
Save
Like,
that for later, 'cause,
ooh.
there are times, where I do indulge in the cannabis.
Right.
But also not only that, just the way we remember things. I've noticed as a rapper, when you have different flows and shit, and you've been doing this shit a long ass time.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily look at your bars and automatically know exactly how you are supposed to spit them. Sometimes you forget the cadence.
The cadence and the delivery
So it's
for
like,
it. Right,
damn,
right.
This is fire,
this
but
is
like,
dope, but how did I work it?
Yeah, so that's where the voice notes are good for, because you can like
Hear the
write it.
enunciation.
So for me, like a lot of times, and I've been writing the last few albums like this, come up with an idea, I write it out in my notes, and then after I, go over it a few times, I'll voice note it, and that'll just be kind of like a demo.
Right,
and then when it's time to like really flesh out the song, I already have something that I was,
skeleton structure.
Yeah, it's kind of like a map.
A little template.
Yeah, and it might change. A lot of times they do change, but at least I have,
how to bounce in. Like, all right.
At least I know how I came in.
Yeah.
Cause that I hate that.
Is the openers the best thing to write or the hardest thing to write?
I think over time, that's a great question. I think over time for me, it's those opening lines. Like, I think of good ones a lot.
Yeah.
But that has always been largely something that I like have to put a lot of extra work into if I don't have it already.
Right.
I've changed lead-ins to songs, that first 4 to 6 bars or whatever. I've changed that over and over again for songs before.
Oh, okay. So you've switched. Okay.
I'm really good at like the middle part. I'm really good at closing. I'm a good closer.
That's
it doesn't like intimidate me as much. Not like I'm intimidated by opening lines,
but there's certain
if
structure.
there was
yeah.
one point of like writing like raps, you know, specifically, that is like the one that I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure this is dope, you know, versus like, oh, I already know that's dope.
Okay, that's dope. So do you type or do you still write like script?
I do both. I mean,
And what you
I think
enjoy the most?
because of ease, I type it more, you know.
What you enjoy the most?
What do I enjoy the most?
Yeah, writing or typing?
When I have time, I like writing it out.
Okay.
But then it's like, okay, where am I putting this? I've lost raps because, you know, I do a lot of the writing on, you know, digital.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, wait, where's that one rap I wrote that's so fire? For some reason, I think that it's more fire when you write it out.
See, and I believe that too. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's true. Because you be, man, like I wrote this bitch.
Yeah, like the fire was coming out the
pen. It melted.
Stream of consciousness, basically.
Yeah.
But you can still have the same
that muscle
typing. You can still have the same string typing, but I think it's the essence of the paper. You can scratch out words. You can put your little notes on the side.
The ritual of writing.
Yeah. Well, number one, I've learned that like when you're writing with a pen, you have more time to think as you're writing the word. Typing is so fast.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
You're really thinking more between words. So by the time you get to the end of that sentence, you ready to go
Now I got this.
You ahead.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, now we playing Tetris.
Can't even write fast enough.
All right. So,
do you find, when you were writing your book, how many chapters were freestyle? Like where you just sat down and said, let me just let whatever comes out, comes out?
Toward the end, it was getting like that. But it was also one of those things where it's like, wait, how many pages is this thing gonna be? Because it's not a short book. It's over 300 pages.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Over 80,000 words, you know, written. So it's definitely a labor of love and accomplishment. But there were definitely some chapters that were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Her word is bomb.
This is dope. I really
Thank you.
That's a real commitment too, to like not only start it but then finishing as well.
Yeah, and you know, Haymarket Books was generous and had the vision to you know, give me a deal. So it was definitely incentive to finish, you know.
Absolutely.
I didn't take an advance or anything like that. You know, you take an advance just alone against the sales.
Right.
Yeah. And I already was, you know, in a fine position. I didn't need anything to write it. I had the time. I had the time and opportunity to do it. So we just, you know, we got the deal done, and you know, we started putting these little deadlines, and then, you know, started to ramp up. But then during quarantine, it really, you know, took a turn. And a real focus, you know, because of the boycott and stuff. So it was able to have, you know, more of a aim to it, because, you know, I have a lot of stories, but it was just like, also, how is the navigation going? Because like we can joke all day about it. It's like all kinds of stuff that, you know, some people who are a little bit more like green or, you know, a little bit like more conservative might be like, oh my stars.
Oh, right.
Oh, like
well, I never.
Like, oh.
Yeah. So.
It was
very adventurous, and a lot of tea was spilled.
Names changed.
Yeah, a lot of tea was spilled. I don't want to get into the tea.
Some names changed.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that tea.
Yeah, you know what? Like people like you know, probably know it. Like a few.
Yeah. That's what I said.
That were changed. Like, I know who that is. So funny.
But I like that the way that you met with Chance the Rapper. That was a dope story.
Oh yeah, like that was just again a bit of lore, just because I had just moved back to Chicago from San Francisco. I moved away a couple different times,
Yeah.
you know, just to do me and live and stuff
Right.
and explore.
Man,
Oh, you was in
yeah.
San Fran.
But I was,
Yeah.
I was in San Francisco for about 2 years.
See,
Uh-huh.
2 years is
when
about
I-
the limit.
Yeah.
Sure. So you're like, I'm just burning money out here, bro.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Oh, yes,
San
please.
Fran.
Yes, please.
So
Yes, please.
So yeah,
Hold on.
your West Coast adventures.
yeah.
Okay. So
The power.
how do I question this? Multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different versions of song
Sure.
out in the world.
Thank you.
How would the song? Where's the Oakland song at?
That's the real deal.
Oh, in a different
multiverse,
yeah.
multiverse song that's signed to High Road.
That isn't even like so far fetched.
Oh my goodness.
Universe
Okay.
type of thing, because those are my guys forever.
Right.
And you know, casuals, I talk about a lot in the book.
Shout out to Casual. We did Power Casual.
Yeah, Tajay, who I speak
Tajay,
to.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, Dale always got my heart. That's
Uncle
my guy.
Dell.
Yeah, he just released
I
something.
mean,
Yeah.
you know, Domino, A+, you know,
Oh,
Festo, all of them.
That's good, man.
Well, while you talking, can you reach over there and grab me that album right
Oh,
next
you want me to?
to the left of Tribe?
Me? My album?
Yeah.
So which album is this?
Flight of the Wig 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
First album
Thank you.
first album I did, like really not thinking about a label or anything but myself and what I wanted to do.
Okay. What's your favorite on this?
Ooh.
The tough question.
So what would the West Coast song be up to? Oakland song.
Rock and Roll McDonald's Today. That'd be my
Rock-
chick.
That's the one?
My nigga Greg Grease laced me up the beat there.
What number is that?
That's 8. Side B.
It's 8.
What'd you say?
What would Oakland West Coast song?
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't have been too hard to imagine. Probably live in Oakland, not too far from the Hyro building, because you know they have,
They have a building?
Yeah, they have a
Yeah.
building.
That's dope.
They have all kinds
They like
of different.
the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, it's a studio down there. They have a warehouse for like clothes and merch.
Oh, that's dope.
They have studios, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, kind of more even a residential, like kind of like apartment style area. Place for all the plaques, offices. Yeah, just a really inspirational kind of place. So I'd be somewhere near there. And you know, try to get on every Souls of Mischief tour.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think that, you know, would have definitely been a good partnership, and don't put it past it for, you know, down the line.
Right. That's dope. So, out of the crew, you was like the first cat to get signed, and you know, had that whole contract thing. You
Say
know
that
what I mean?
again?
You're the first cat that like dealt first acrobat that was dealing with contracts and signing
Okay,
labels.
maybe Pugsley, but yeah, I was.
Well, Pugs had the birthright, and I'm thinking Vanilla
Yeah,
was
like-
messing with Fat Beats.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it was Ty.
yeah, it was
was
a lot. It was tied with
It was Ty on
it was
the side.
tied all
It
along.
was Ty.
It was tied all
I
along.
was gonna say that. No,
I think it was me. I was like, no, it's me.
yeah, I was gonna let that go. I was not gonna say nothing.
No. You
No.
gotta speak. You gotta pop your shit,
I
man.
got signed to Germany in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because by
Okay.
the time,
Okay.
Overflow came around, he kind of like slowly became an executive, you know, and
Right.
people had kind of had, you know, Ty and Pugs had already kind of had dealings before. But you
I
never
was
signed a
signed.
birthright, right?
But you didn't sign.
I didn't sign a birthright. I signed in Germany, and then I did a record in Switzerland.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Elephant Beach.
International.
Yeah.
Davis International.
Davis.
The original International.
So I take that back. I'm
Shout out
sorry.
to all the new internationals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of international.
International. You got international babies.
Yeah, you know.
So,
Yep.
Understood.
I didn't like so reading your book, man. Fuck Rhyme said, G. You should
I mean,
you should have called us.
and then what?
We wanted
You gotta say that part
with
right
the
there, and
bets.
then what?
Back with the bets.
Yeah,
I don't know. I want to do some
definitely
label. I want to do some
crossed my
label
mind.
mayhem.
But violence, you know what the hell would that have? You know, that would it would have been funny.
Well, there you
Been
go.
fun as hell.
Yeah, for the yeah.
It's senseless violence.
It's no reason.
Sometimes it's on the menu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. I just don't like crew
I mean, there's plenty of time
No, I feel you.
for violence today. I mean, what was that song you dropped? Over the blockchain character?
Oh, the Kid Cudi joint?
Yeah.
We're leaving Kid Cudi alone for the next week because of the Diddy joint.
No. We gotta get it. No.
That nigga, I don't care. He got his car blew up.
Yeah, I don't care. That's in the past.
Yeah, right?
All right.
That's in the past.
He
anyway.
actually got set up for that too. That was crazy how that story.
Wait, what?
Well, I don't want to talk about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how his situation went. But fuck that nigga, man. What was your problem with him?
Okay, so the short and curlies of the Kid Cudi thing is I have a character named Hologram Kizzy
Right.
from an NFT that I sold.
Okay.
And it was
NFTs.
not only, we sold NFTs of the song, but the song is basically part of a soundtrack that's part of a whole like world that we were building.
Okay.
So we're kind of building it in real time. But it was starring myself as Hologram Kizzy and my homie Bionic, who also did a lot of the animation. He did all the animation and did
Okay.
the beats.
Okay.
I wrote the story and I wrote the different songs and stuff because we had different characters that had different songs and shit.
Okay.
You
So
can go
this
on
was a full-fledged story.
You can go on YouTube.
Yeah,
You can go on YouTube now because we it kind of forced my hand to show
To
like,
release
look,
some of
we
what you was
already
doing.
were working on this.
Yeah.
Look what we already did. So there's like 4 episodes on my YouTube channel of like where we were going with this with these characters.
Right.
And so it was it was basically a story that we made up about just kind of this mythical place called Vilcha and Minteria, and there's basically talks about capitalism and how capitalism does artists who are trying to like stay true to themselves, and does a lot of commentary about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the character of me is a Hologram Kizzy. It was a colorful cartoon cat named Kizzy. And
Yeah, I saw
one
that.
day, just randomly, because I actually follow Kid Cudi on social media, on Instagram.
Mhm.
One day, I'm just scrolling, just randomly. And what do I see on Kid Cudi's page but a colorful cartoon cat named Kizzy, spelled with a Y though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not the I-E. Yeah.
His shit was with a Y.
Okay.
But it was literally
Wow.
the same shit. And he was like selling hats based on the character or something. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you stole my shit. And of course, it's like, do I sit online all day and try to catch virality and, you know, like, be like, under his posts and be like,
Oh, don't you do it!
Like
Don't you do it!
consequences.
I did it for like 10 minutes.
You was
Yeah.
like,
And
nah.
I was like, this isn't gonna work. And
I
so
got
I was
other
like,
skills.
I was just mad as fuck. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just handle this like a real MC would. I'm about to diss the shit out of this man.
Yeah, you
Did
came
you
out your
try to
bag with
contact
them in
him?
that song.
As the cartoon though. So I was like, I'm gonna be disrespectful as fuck. as
Oh,
this
the
He
cartoon. So
came-
that.
You remember them shit?
Yeah, them bars.
Some wild
Hey,
shit.
yo.
I was like,
Kizzy don't
damn.
play.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Hey, yo. What? You gonna do what?
Never
Holy
ever say
shit.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes. I was so mad.
Yeah, you was in a space because for anybody, yeah, if you haven't heard that song, listen to that song.
Yeah, listen to
Yeah,
that
it's called
song.
Kid
You
Cudi.
tell me about.
Not in there though.
Kid
About
Coochie
record.
by Hologram Kizzy.
Yeah.
Even a
I
song
know where.
one.
Wait, it might be over
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Right
Kid-
here.
So I like Kizzy Tangents.
Yeah.
That was your first.
That was.
That's your
like,
rap name.
Yeah, that was like my first rap name before I was really Psalm 1.
Okay.
But in college, we did like this talent show,
Here we go.
and the student newspaper came and
I
they
know my
mentioned me,
shit.
and it was Psalm 1 that they mentioned. So I was like, I guess I'll just go by that.
That's dope.
Yeah, but you know, every rapper had like 10 names.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those are the ones that like stuck. But I brought Hologram Kizzy back for the NFT shit.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
but that
ill.
was just, you know, because it was just a different thing than the Psalm 1 universe, you know?
Did he ever respond to anything?
And say what?
Well, I mean,
I like what you was talking about doing.
well,
like,
did he shut down Kizzy? Did he shut down his Kizzy?
I haven't seen nothing else with it.
Okay, right.
he tried to move
So-
past it because he had did another project
One of
and
my favorite songs on here.
me too.
He made him.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what were you saying?
No, he had did another project, so then he moved on to that.
Yeah. It was like one of these one-offs, but he was
Like come in quick, come in, try to take
he
some
was
money.
hinting that it's gonna be more to it. So I'm looking, but I'm not really like I got my shit off. I disrespected, you know.
Yep.
I felt better. I didn't expect it, you know, like
Fly
if
near
it
the
becomes
food.
like something else and it's like Kizzy starts popping up again, it's like I'm gonna have to, you know, I know lawyers. So,
I'm sure
you know,
his team was smart enough to tell him, like, you know what, cut this out, move on.
I would imagine that that's probably like just a quiet nothing. You know?
Yeah, they just kind of like
And
just
don't
mention it
push
again, don't say nothing
yeah.
else, act like it never existed.
Yeah.
Real dude gonna get
But a lot of
embarrassed.
people saw that. I would imagine he saw it too. You know how people, you know, you can't respond.
Yeah, you can't respond. Now, if you well, if you respond,
He
Yeah,
couldn't.
if you
It would
respond,
be
you
worse.
wouldn't get-
yeah, that's what I'm like.
Like, how do
You
you
want this
respond to
fire
someone else
again?
Yeah, like what do you say?
Yes, it's like it's just not possible.
I clench my cheeks.
Defense.
Defense.
Best defense.
Exit only.
Yeah, that was serious. I was like, were we together when we heard that?
I think
And
so.
we was sitting, I was like,
Because I was like, because it was in the morning. Like, yo, what the hell?
People were like, what the hell is
What the
going
fuck
on?
is going on?
that shit was crazy.
I was like, wait, Kid Cudi, the real Kid Cudi?
Then we started looking, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
looking you up.
oh.
Like, oh.
To
Because
the
I
trash crew,
figured,
they like,
the
you know,
whole-
they like did the whole animation because I said now I gotta push the idea,
right.
you know, like to show you motherfuckers like, no, Kizzy is mine.
Yeah.
Concrete that, insert that.
My Kizzy's gonna beat up your Kizzy,
And how you like that, Kid Cudi?
That's polite.
you know.
So
And
it's,
then I felt better. And then I felt good about like whatever happens with that, even
Yeah.
if nothing happens. I'm at peace with it.
you felt good when you released
Even though every
that.
time I see Kid Cudi out in the wild, I'd be like, they stole my NFT.
Nah, you should walk
How
up on
dare
them.
you?
That's what I mean. I want some of this beef.
Dare you? Like,
Like,
girl,
just
like,
do
you
that.
didn't even still y'all motherfuckers were still cartoon characters for people.
Right.
Like that's the
Right.
writing like knows no bounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You like, girl, how you going? Like, we supposed to? Us ladies supposed to stick together. Like, just really dig into him every time.
Hey, is he a
That
snitch?
shit
Be-
is crazy.
Is he a snitch because the Diddy trial?
No, like he's not a criminal, right?
Right,
And he wasn't part of whatever Diddy had going on.
right.
And he got his car blew up, and they said that Diddy harmed his animals.
Hey, that sounds
That's
crazy.
psycho. Okay, I get being really mad at it.
What do you do? He kicked it?
Okay, you come over, you break it and entering,
Right,
Yeah,
harm the animal.
right.
You
that's the
what kind
biggest
of
part.
freak killer. Like, come on, man. Why you gotta be so mean? He's a mean guy.
Why is this turning into such a Boondocks episode?
It's so cynical
is.
too, cause
Yeah.
he's dancing and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you can see him coming like the clown
Karma
from It.
fucking
Yeah. Take that. Ah, shit.
Shoulders.
Tuck your chain, man. Ah.
American Psycho.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's so wild.
So
It's
even
like,
if he don't get no time, his reputation.
What do you mean we don't get no time? He already been serving
he
time.
been, he been in that motherfucker. You mean like no more? Like if they
Yeah,
don't,
no more.
they don't.
I
I don't think the case make like I think they charged him
Racketeering,
wrong.
I think they can prove everything, but him being in jail for like a long ass, crazy ass time, I don't know.
I still think that this was bigger. They wanted more from him, and he is not giving up anything.
Yeah.
I think they wanted who's above him, and you know,
Yeah,
the-
they wanted to rank.
Sure.
and he's since he's not talking, they
learned
said,
this
okay,
from
we'll focus
someone.
on this then.
Yeah, they had to build a case, and this is the case that I think they can like prove. I mean, I'm not, everybody an internet Twitter lawyer and shit.
Yeah, everybody.
No, I
experts
ain't
now.
on that shit.
But it's like, from what I understand, from what I heard an actual lawyer say,
Mhm.
is the racketeering happens when you use your business to do the fuck shit.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
That's
So
what
like,
it's a
okay,
racket.
if you using any bad boy employees, any revolt employees to do any of your like freaky man stuff, and then also
Or using your
you're
tours
flying,
and all that.
you're
Yeah.
flying Cassie. Cassie is being used to just kind of shed light on
The bigger.
how
She's a
how he
catalyst.
do.
Because she was on the inside and she was
Yeah,
everywhere.
and it's not like this trial isn't about if he did it to Cassie or not. It has nothing to do with that. But
Well, she basically is being a witness to keep herself out of jail because she was actually a part of
she's
it.
doing illegal
Wow.
shit too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, the fact that Cassie was an artist on Bad Boy really makes it bad. You know,
Yeah.
that's the real. To me, that's the clincher.
So that's the connection.
Yeah, because that's the
She was a
racketeering.
label,
Like she's
Yeah.
on the label.
Right.
Yeah.
10-album deal,
Right.
and you pimping her out like literally.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word,
Yeah.
you're actually like pimping this lady
Yeah.
out from like age 20.
And unfortunately, whether or not it was in like what was behind that is the real question, and like how far that will go. But because it's just like how many people knew about this?
And that's what I'm trying. A lot of people.
And I mean this trial is gonna go for some more weeks, and I think
Keep
some of
digging.
it is. I think
Oh,
some of
big
people
hole.
are like gonna definitely testify against him that participated in it because they don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, they're gonna all be witnesses to keep from getting their own sentences.
Yeah.
That's the part that's messed up.
So I mean,
It's a lot of dark shit that happened.
and Cassie is not just like she's a victim for sure, but
Absolutely.
she's also
At a certain
a
point,
participant to a point where like there are people that have stories that says she was the aggressor at times and shit like that.
yeah,
So it's just real messy.
yeah,
And-
it's
and,
you don't want to play.
They're just trying to like the defense is really trying to be like, yes, he's a mess and he's a addict and he's all these things, but he wasn't doing what y'all said.
He's also a dad.
He's also a father.
Right. You know,
You love people.
yeah, he's brother
Sometimes.
love. He
Sometimes.
tried to repent publicly. You
Then
know,
you went away, showed y'all
You remember that?
Hey, you know, we was going.
Remember
in on-
Big and Small?
We was going in on the G Unit tank tops and we was slipping.
your
We missed it. That was the distraction.
G-Unit
But
tank
that- but-
tops.
It's just so sinister and evil, bro.
It is to understand that it's been going on for so long, and how deep it really is. Like his tentacles wrap around a lot of people.
Well, I blame them for that, man. I blame that city for that, man. 'Cause
Hence
those
King of New York.
motherfuckers,
I
yeah.
mean, look at R. Kelly.
They,
I mean, don't
but they
wanna
ain't, is that
ruffle no
sinister?
feathers, because
Yeah.
people love to be like, I still listen to R. Kelly. It's like, okay, fine.
I mean, they
All
still
right,
listen to
like, why
Ike
do you have to
too.
make such a big fucking deal about
Yeah.
it?
But
Dude's a
listen.
monster. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I
You
listened
listen
to
to
the
Monsters?
Benjamins the other day.
You listen to who?
I
All-
listened
all
to the
about the
Benjamins
Benjamins.
the
Oh,
other
yeah?
day. I definitely had a little bit of side eye going on.
Yeah.
But he was
So
like,
is his music,
yeah.
now is his
Some of
music,
his music, if you go back,
it was clues in the
it
music.
was some breadcrumbs.
It
It was
was
some
the
school.
clues
Oh,
in the
The
music.
pesky kids was around. They would have got him. Cause I was like, man, like even though Mace in some of his conversations, he tries to clear up some of his
Puffy
bars.
wasn't the hits didn't like Puffy. I guess that's the hip hop elitist motherfuckers.
What do you mean?
Puffy was the commercial one. He was
Yeah,
the
sure.
shiny
Yeah,
suit.
absolutely.
I mean, I think around 98, 99, like all of us were kind of at a point where it's just like underground only.
Yeah,
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 Only.
right,
Then,
right.
like things like more money, more problems and shit like that. It's just like, yeah, you saw that shit on TV and it's just kind of like, oh, that's that shiny suit shit.
Yeah, that's
You
exactly
weren't,
what
like
it was
really
about.
like bumping it for real.
No,
but
you weren't
couldn't
taking it
escape
seriously. It was
No, you
playing
can't.
everywhere.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
ain't saying.
couldn't escape it, but I think.
But
I
he
think
was
as
a
we gotten
thorn.
older, like you go to like I grew to appreciate Biggie's work, like later on.
Posthumously, yeah.
Okay.
So it, like definitely after he passed away, I got to I appreciated his music a lot more, and because I was older too,
Yeah.
and I couldn't really wrap my mind around it as much.
But
A lot of adult content on his early stuff.
so
So like, I didn't get it all.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
respectfully, and then I, got into some things. I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Oh,
You mean like
now I
sucking on his
know.
daddy dick?
Like, nah, that's crazy.
You know, like
So fine, I suck your daddy.
That's-
dick.
So that's the puff
Wild.
line. Oh, take that. I like that, man.
Diddy wrote
I like that, Daddy.
But see, I'm of the mind that there's a little more with that because everybody else broke away from him. Biggie didn't break away right away.
Well, I heard he
He
was.
might have been doing some freak
I think Biggie
Yeah, I think so too.
was
Which
because
is
Because everybody broke off and went to God.
everybody was so fucked up by Diddy.
The God
Craig Mack
Craig Mack, Mace,
and Mace.
one of the total chicks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Locks-
The Locks,
they found themselves.
We don't want to be shiny suits no more, so we.
All them niggas had to find God.
Yeah, they all did, but Biggie was there until the end. It's interesting when you think about it.
But they did say Biggie was. This is the rumor, is that Biggie was planning on running
label.
his contract out.
He was planning to
Yeah.
defect.
And then he was.
Yeah, and he was planning on.
I heard he was going
independent
to
boy.
team with Jay-Z, and they was going to do something.
He had a lot of people that wanted to team with him at that
Yeah,
time. Because
everybody-
it could have been
everybody wanted
Buster
to sign
too.
him.
Buster was his homie.
Oh, I didn't know.
So that could have been some. It's a lot of people that could have fucked with him at that time, but it probably would have ended up being Jay-Z at the end of the day, because Biggie was
Yeah, I
chasing
mean,
money.
If anybody was going
Yeah,
rival of Diddy check,
yeah,
Diddy wasn't paying nobody, so shit.
yeah. That's the other side of it. Diddy was sharing his wealth with you. I'll take you shopping.
Yeah, the whole
You
like
know,
I'll buy
you can
some
stay in
things.
my crib.
I'll buy you a house, but it's in my name. So it's
Exactly.
really my house.
Yeah, you driving my car around,
Yeah,
and I bought your clothes. So really, you
So I
have
get-
zero money in your bank.
don't have any money.
Right,
I
you
give
go out
like
to
a
eat.
little allowance, your little running around money.
Yeah, you don't. I don't want you looking
you're not
stupid
gonna
out
be able
here.
to, like buy anything.
Nah,
So
nah.
don't be a stupid artist. Don't be no one's slave, bro. That's slavery.
Hey, listen, I've definitely signed. This is, I talked about it in the book too. Just trading music for rent. That was nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the key.
Felt
You
smart.
got to do sometimes.
Felt smart at the time. I was like, oh
But-
shit, we just gonna do these albums and we just get free rent? Oh shit.
But if you didn't do that, what would you do?
What could possibly go
What's
wrong?
wrong, right? Well, let's see. Dirt, 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 dirt.
But from a survival, it's a fight or flight perspective.
Yeah,
And
and
you-
they just like, am I gonna be able to continue to chase my dream, or is it gonna be a lot?
You gonna be
harder if
back
I
in the
don't
you
do
gonna be
this?
back in the literal lab, being a chemist again, working at a paint company. You know.
Yeah, watching paint dry.
Yeah.
As a job.
Yeah.
That could be a TV show, though. I could.
So what?
No, her scenes when she was when the scientists discovered she was a rapper.
Let's do that.
That's a
Funny.
funny ass scene.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
They're like, is this you? Like,
What, you get shaky legs or something? It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! The jig is up.
Newspaper,
What do you
bro.
mean?
Motherfucking newspaper and just big red circle. Like, is this you?
Hey, that's
Taped the shit
hilarious.
to my desk, and I was like, I can't even pretend that this ain't me. I'm wearing the same hat.
Got me.
No, I got a twin out there.
Right. It's
My-
a
Wearing
doppelganger.
the same hat.
Right, my twin's name is
Doppel-
Kizzy.
That's hilarious. But yeah, that's
That's hardcore.
the beautiful struggle, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people say you're a rapper. Oh, I ain't never seen you on TV before. You ain't rapped to me. I ain't never seen you on BET. But you can have a career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
People don't understand the idea of the working class rapper as
Yeah.
much as they should.
Yeah.
Because they only think about
The upper echelon,
Nah.
they,
Right.
they push us to that dream of being like a superstar and things,
right.
which is a nice dream to have.
But that
when you
ruins
think about-
your life too though.
It can. Chasing that can absolutely ruin a lot of shit. And it's also one of the things where it's like, hey, think about it like this, just like there's a 1% and 99% of like finances and things like that. It's the same shit for the record industry.
Yeah.
1% of artists are gonna be like these superstar ass acts with like all the budgets and shit like that. And there's gonna be the rest of them.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And chasing like stardom, as it were, can definitely be a complete dead end. it can also be just a jumping off point to other things, depending on what God has in store for you. But chasing fame and all that shit is nah. Especially once you use a certain age, it's like,
Oh no.
Nah, you got to pay bills.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's
Reality.
like, girl, what? What are we doing?
Right, you can't be
Were
wasting
you
your
chasing
time.
fame? Consider yourself chasing fame?
I mean, I wouldn't have admitted it at the time, but in retrospect, yeah. Like, I feel like there are a couple moments where I was like, oh, I think this is like a possible to like, go for it, to, really take a shot at it. There's a couple albums where that was like, okay, we might, put some money over here for extra press, or, you know what I mean? Like, make sure that like we got, these things set in place, this tour set in place for this and shit like that, where you like kind of build a rollout for like much bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the like again, like the beginning of the Rapper Cakes, there are just certain like press we got, and the fact that we were touring so much so early, and there seemed to be so much interest that we were like, oh, we might have a shot at this. But I think that sometimes I love to remind myself that like it's not blowing up the most crazy thing that ever happened to you, because if that's the case, that's something's actually wrong here, because that's not what I set out to do. I set out to be a really dope rapper.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I see.
Like the whole this is an artist to watch, and
Right.
like, getting signed and all this other shit, and like being on tour and then being in magazines and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool, but it's like I did the things that I set out to do. So when you start like really being like, oh no, I'm trying to be on, and then you don't get on,
Yeah, right.
that can
right.
really fuck up your
Like,
perspective.
yeah.
If you're not really like working on that. And I think even little brushes of fame, little tastes of fame can get to your head if you're not careful.
Kind of distort your perception.
Yeah, it just depends on how you really like think about it. I met a ton of artists who've had like moments and things like that, but they're not blown. They haven't blown up, and they still do their art.
Right.
I think when you release, it's something very liberating about not caring about that shit no more.
That's
You just do it.
Yeah, you just
You
do
just
it.
Like I'd be making
And
music,
man,
no one cares.
yeah,
Right.
and just kill it too. Be like, man, I killed it.
Yeah,
I don't
just,
care
like,
what
listen in
y'all
my car,
say.
like, yeah, I really did.
No,
good
listen,
job.
what? Listen to me.
Becomes your personal soundtrack.
Yeah, man, for real.
Sure. Yeah, that's I
Real.
respect the hell out of people who do their art for them, and they're not really looking to package a product for the masses.
Right.
Even if they do put it on Bandcamp or something, they're not really doing it to. They might go online one day and say, "Hey, I wrote a song."
Right. Check
But
me
they're
out.
not, they have jobs already, and their life path is already
Right.
something. And this is just a hobby or something fun that they wanted to do. I respect that, because art impacts all of us in different ways. Everybody can't be Beyonce.
Right.
She caused a sandstorm.
She kicked the dust storm
Changed
up.
the weather in people's
changed-
towns.
Yeah, seriously.
Weird shits.
Had everybody outside walking in them brand new boots.
Brand new.
Hair done, brand new boots.
Daisy
just
Dukes.
dust
I
storm.
seen them on 82nd and some tall boots.
Period. They was in with the gallon hat.
Is Beyonce here?
Well, yeah, don't do it. But literally, by the time they get closer to Soldiers Field, they're taking the boots off and walking down the street barefoot. Because, you got to break those in, yeah.
You're supposed to just rock slides or something until you get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they was trying to be fresh and didn't make it.
Walking them damn boots.
That was
Cowboy
crazy.
that you just bought and they broke in.
Yeah. They learned that day.
Oh yeah, feet on just hot on fire.
Cosplaying cowboy car.
Cosplay
Beyonce, the Renaissance.
Oh, you did?
2 years ago.
Yeah, there
Pay
was
for
no
those tickets?
dress code for that one.
Pay for those tickets?
Still paying for those things. I pay
Oh, yeah,
$1,000
a pint
month.
of blood, too.
I pay $1,000 a month for 24 months.
Yikes.
You're lying.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I was about to say, you was backstage, money.
Yeah, right.
Now, she was still in nosebleed. Them tickets is
No,
crazy
the tickets
price.
weren't very expensive, but it was worth it. And I also know that, like, as far as I'm concerned, I've seen all my faves in concert.
Okay.
So like
that's
I'm
cool.
like Stevie Wonder's my top. I
Nice.
saw him.
Nice.
Prince, rest in peace. I saw
Nice.
him.
Nice.
Michael Jackson as a kid, I saw him.
For real?
I saw Michael Jackson.
Nice.
That's a fun fact.
Oh man.
And these are just like some great entertainers. You know?
Yeah.
They really put on
go
a
back
show.
to the mic.
Yeah.
Did you see him at White Sox?
No, he was at. It was called Rosemont Horizon. Then now it's what is it?
Oh, that
Allstate
was
Arena. Is that what it's called now?
I've seen him at White Sox.
Yeah,
You
you
saw
saw
him,
that
yeah.
at the park.
Missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Performing?
it's Rate Field
It
now.
was all Jackson 5.
Yeah, that was a Jackson
All
5
of them.
concert.
Whole Jackson. They did Can You Feel It?
Oh shit!
Oh,
And you felt it, didn't you? Like I felt it.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Michael's just like, the certain
Michael over
entertainers,
Prince.
you're just like, okay, yep, exactly, yep, for sure.
Yeah.
And Beyonce is definitely one of them. Like, hits on hits.
Mike.
Guitars,
Young Mike. So I asked Pugs this. I'm going to ask you this because you travel around the world just like the rest of us in this room. What's your favorite stage you ever rocked on?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's really hard to earn.
If we talking about just Chicago, rocking the Metro never gets old.
Ooh, the Metro. I love that stage. Ooh.
Red Rocks
Yeah.
in Colorado.
Okay.
That was a goated stage for me. Very much a grail, holy grail type of stage.
Which, that's true.
And then Jazz Cafe in London.
How long you got?
Oh, word.
That was
Oh, wow.
somewhere where I was like, I felt really
I see.
privileged to be there.
It's still good.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I think I haven't been to.
Yeesh.
I've been to Europe, Canada, and a couple of Caribbean spots. So I've been around a lot of Europe, but I haven't been to like Asia or Australia or Africa yet.
Right, me either.
So I can't wait to do that.
Yeah. Set up
But yeah, those are some of my
international
faves.
tour. Hint.
Yeah, International Acrobats Tour, 6
Yeah.
weeks.
I saw you recently on the Midwest desk with
Yes,
Yoda.
bro.
Yeah, how
Oh,
was
yeah,
how was that
yeah.
experience? Cause we gotta go out there. We haven't.
Yeah,
been
we
out
going.
there
Y'all gotta go.
yet. Yeah,
Shout out to Yoda.
for sure.
Yeah, he basically been on me about just
Come on, you coming out here,
about
son?
coming. Because you know what it was like. He was like, they were hinting at it for a few months, and then like next thing you know, they had the actual desk.
All right.
So I was
Yeah.
like,
They
oh,
wasn't
shit,
playing
they
with you.
I got like super excited.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
wasn't playing.
So when they were like, oh yeah, we're doing Midwest Desk now, and I was just like, oh shit, they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yoda was like, you gonna come do it? And I was like, sure. And it took a few months, but
Nice.
yeah, I went out there and it was cool. It was just like, man, some people you just pick up where you left off. 'Cause fun fact, I was in Centric IE before I was in Acrobat.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Was it? I think it was Pugsley. It might have been Pugsley. It took me over Yoda's house to listen to beats and to meet him. And he just asked after like we did like one song. He was like, "You want to be in my crew?" And I was like, okay.
That's cool.
And that's what it was. But I wasn't officially like in Nacro yet.
Wow. Didn't
So it
know
was really
that.
funny because like that Yoda used to be like having that over Pugsley, like she's in
She's
Centric IE.
Citric
But
IE
we
though.
like,
Yeah, I can
I
see
see
him
that.
do that. But she's Citric IE, Pucks.
Stupid.
But yeah, like
saying, though.
that first album, that first EP, Whippersnapper, and then the Frequent Flyer had tons of Yoda beats.
Yeah, true.
In addition
Mhm.
to the stuff that we were doing with Nacro at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
we were rapping over a lot of Yoda beats.
That's a classic album too.
So just going over there was like, and so I had to do Rock the World because I didn't have any other beats. I didn't even have the Rock the World beat, but I was like, we rapped over that
Yeah.
at Nacro Day. So I was like, who had it?
You
That was
know,
a good day.
yeah, it was
Was
a
a
very
good
good day.
Trying to run that back at some point.
We need to do that. Yes, we need to do another Nacro reunion. We need to do an annual Nacro reunion because when we did
Nacro
that,
Fest.
I was thinking Nacro
Yeah.
Fest
Ooh, Nacro.
because I was thinking the High Road shit, how they do their shit every year.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we need to
High
do
Road
Nacro
Day.
Day.
Now, for the record, locally, What year was that?
That was
20,
before the
2019.
before the Earth
No,
died.
2020, January.
Yeah, before
'Cause
the Earth died.
It is documented
Mhm.
historically.
Mhm.
The only sold out show at the crib
Uh-huh.
was the Nacro reunion
Uh-huh. That's true.
because
It was
everything
sold
shut
out.
down.
Yeah, everything shut down at it.
So
The
by
world died.
default,
Yeah.
by default, we get a trophy.
We got
Yeah,
that
for
trophy.
sure.
Yeah, we got that
The
trophy.
only, we're the only show that had it sold out over there.
Yeah,
Like,
that
the
was,
whole year.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
after
whole
that, the whole world destroyed. He shut down. He shut down the world. Rock the world. That's what we do.
That was great. I love
That's
that.
dope.
We need to bring the best to life.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with actually
yeah.
more stuff with
What?
Ask Nacro because I think
Yeah.
that whole
Is that-
crew thing is not present anymore with
Yeah.
the modern generation and stuff.
That's how I
They
found
don't
it.
got crews. I feel like the kids got crews, right? They
Some
don't.
kids got crews, but I don't think.
They don't
Where
like
you pull it
rep
from.
like that in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. That whole approach of things is because everyone's solo and everyone a star at the same time. So
Where?
I don't think the team.
Oh, right along there.
I'll fall back. I'll let y'all kill it. You know what I
didn't get the
mean?
Sister
And then I'll
Nancy out
come
there.
back and support in different ways. You
It
know what I
just
mean?
came out on
So,
Record Store Day.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of crew essence.
Yeah, I saw all of his.
not- And that's pretty important.
No,
I
what?
think that's important to have the brother sisterhood. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's right there.
In the culture. We all alike.
found
You
it.
know what I mean? Like I'm saying,
Real.
you fuck with her, you fuck with me, you
Yeah.
fuck with you, you know?
Minneapolis
It's on
right
this
now.
one?
That's what. Let's go. And it's funny how that worked too, because when Atmosphere Slug was always out here, we always had some connection, opening up for him, rocking
Sure,
with
yeah,
him,
yeah,
shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And just how that shit turned, how the turn of events just turned in time in general. It's just weird.
Yeah, didn't have the greatest time over there, overall, but did learn a lot. They did put me on. Over time I've learned to, the rage is still there, but there's certain little things, nuanced things that I'm grateful that it happened that way. Learned a lot from being on that label. Got to be up close. Some straight legends, And
Shout out to Brother Ali.
We're like young legends and young legends in our own right, in our day.
True.
So
True.
being able
Definitely.
to see that on a whole different level. That was it was integral. It was important, and I'm grateful for that experience. But yeah, when stuff starts turning and you start feeling like these niggas really don't fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but no one's really saying it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm gonna lose my mind in this motherfucker, It's like, people love to use the
But
word
why they sign
gaslighting
you?
wrong,
Why
but
they
that's
sign you if they wasn't end up not fucking with? Like, I don't understand what was.
The intent.
Yeah.
I think also, the expectations are different all around, and also I think that when you sign a woman, you look progressive as hell,
Yeah, the optics of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're locking down potentially a female fan base. There's a lot of pros.
So all of those are factors. Wow.
I mean, if they're thinking,
But I'm looking at growth.
As a label.
I'm looking at growth.
And that was something that was said to me, but I think that's said to a lot. Like there's certain things that in my story that are unique to me for sure. But there are certain things that happen to tons of artists,
That's true.
You get promised the world, you get promised certain things, and then you look up, 2-3 years in, you're like, that shit never happened. Oh, wait a minute, who gonna call for this? And then there were, some things that, some tactics that were used that, pretty much worked. And if you're a young artist who never really experienced anything in the industry, you don't know what to look for.
That's
you're kind of just,
right.
happy to be there. And then when it comes time to do stuff, you're just doing it.
Right.
And you're not really questioning so much. So.
Well,
You live, you
Question
learn.
now, motherfucker.
No, you live, you learn. You live, you learn.
I had to look in the camera for that one.
Uh-oh. Break the fourth wall over here.
Right.
Every single camera.
Every single one.
Every single.
So nah, man.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
So yeah, shit.
Say butter.
You say parquet.
It's all right.
If you're gonna make a spray.
Let me see if I have any.
So where are you at right now with your creative space?
Yeah, good question.
I'm trying to live and do other things. I'm always working on music. The Fest project, like I said, we're
Okay.
slow cooking that, mixing that.
Cool.
But it's 20 songs, so it's gonna take a while doing it. I've got, I would say another 2 albums with 2 different producers that I have a bunch of ideas for. But I'm not in any rush. I
Taking your
think that at
time.
this point in my life, I'm just trying to live, like I said earlier, to grab joy. And as much as I love writing, I get to do it in other ways. The Audio Tree gig helps me like really remember my love of all kinds of music. And I keep my pen sharp, but creatively, I'm just kind of really just living and coming up with just living, so I have things to talk about when I start really working on the next projects. Because there's the recording and then there's the mixing. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
There's a
mixing
lot of-
that I'm doing right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm always kind of in that creative space. If I'm not, writing and recording, I'm doing some other aspect. So, I'm definitely in mix mode.
That's cool. Mix mode.
As far as albums and my own work is concerned. But I work a lot with Angel on her stuff.
Oh, that's dope. What's she
And-
working on?
She actually got a grant from DK's to work on an album, so we've just been working on that. And then
You
she's
got
been,
them DK's joints, man. They hooking niggas up.
Mhm.
Anyway,
yeah, they that's a great program, and hopefully, it can withstand all those budget cuts and things and remain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Still
'Cause
there.
I feel like
right,
a lot of artists get
motherfucker.
blessed by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I work every now and then. I get called for a feature or a ghostwriting opportunity, so I do that.
Nice.
Dope, dope.
And then slowly, even slower than the music, is a second book.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Ah, okay.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, and it will be. This is nonfiction, of course. It's about my life, so this one will be fiction.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let me know you want to shoot the film. Shoot the movie.
Okay.
We need to shoot
wanna
the
do a movie.
nonfiction.
We
one
got to
too.
shoot the
I wanna
nonfiction,
do
yeah.
a movie.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, we can do
Okay.
that.
Okay. All
We
right.
can do that.
People be like, Tubi. I'm
Now
like, bro,
people
I watch
sleeping
that.
because Tubi, people be on Tubi.
I'll shoot a
apparently it feels like they have better deals than like Netflix and that.
It's much
Yeah.
easier to get.
Yeah,
Netflix,
sure, of course,
Amazon
of
and
course.
Netflix used to be that way. Then they blew up and started saying we can make our own movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Netflix isn't necessarily, no disrespect, but they're not picking up like the Dirty D and
Nah.
shit like
Nah.
that. It's
Nah.
like big-breasted strippers.
Evasion.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is this time.
Oh.
Do you still talk to Open Mike Eagle and Riff and all them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see them as much because they don't live here anymore.
Right, I know.
But like when they're in town, a lot of times I end up like seeing them. So
Cool.
yeah, that's Crew Forever.
That's cool. PDX. And what's it? Impossible Industries.
No, it's oh my God,
It's let me look.
it is
Stupid.
Industries.
It's Industries. Yeah.
Yeah. Previous Industries.
Previous Industries. There you go.
Yeah.
Nah, shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to PDX. Shout out to the Nacrobat family.
All day.
And I'm
Shout out
Cosmo
to the
Glenn.
original swim team.
The original. Swim.
And now I go back to my.
No, what's this?
Hey.
He's like the craziest fact checker on earth. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm here.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, just to
So
be
we're-
clear.
That's really funny.
That's funny. I'm out of questions, son.
You got a question? Okay. Well, this was fantastic.
He funny. He said he out
I
of
appreciate
question.
you
Out of
finally
question.
having me on. Finally.
Oh.
Niggas been doing this shit 20 years.
Hey,
Whoops.
man.
Oops.
Just kidding.
You've been busy being famous.
That was a nice thing. That was a nice deflection. That was great. That was great.
You was too busy being famous, man. We had to
You're
work.
definitely famous.
But I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad that we here is full circle and you family anyway. So it's never, the door is always
Yeah,
open.
we have an open door policy for this. For
Hell
the,
yeah.
Always drop by.
you can bust right in on anybody else's interview and be like,
If you drop another diss song, you can come
Oh
and
my
talk
God,
about it.
yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's always open.
Another
For
Kid
family.
Cudi diss.
Yeah, just do it
Ooh.
again. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about this. And just go off.
Oh, and another thing.
Is he the most
J-Lo?
punkest artist in the world?
who,
Like,
Cudi?
Yeah, he's a
I doubt
chump.
he's the most punkest,
Well,
but
he got a chump reputation. He was scared of Lupe. Like it's about Chicago. too.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
but who is it?
I was so happy when Lupe was dissing him, and then Lupe was like, "We talk like men." And I was like, "Damn,
Did
Damn.
you really though? Like, did you really?
fuck your maturity and growth."
Right. We talk like men.
Yeah, he was like, "We talk
like
We got on the phone and talk like men. We
Men.
hashed out our problems."
Boys to men.
I was like, "Wah wah wah."
Ooh, we went
Like, I
all
wanted
the
you
way
to
down.
hate him forever.
He had a full dress on to talk like me.
And you know,
Wait a minute, what?
my problem is the dress, not the dress, but the actual
The dress.
dress. Like it didn't look good. Like why'd you?
No, he
pick
looked like
that
trash.
Dress? If you want to gender bend,
Yeah, right.
do
Get
some
something.
subversive shit, and like be like, I'll wear women's wear. I don't care. I have my sexuality, and I'm comfortable with mine.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That
I'll
guy.
do it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the dress looked shitty as hell. It's like an Amish.
Churning butter ass nigga. Churning.
It was like he was churn butter.
Hell
It
nah.
wasn't like there's nothing sexy about it because it's like okay, the idea is like, oh, I'm so sexy I can tell
The
fucking
handmaid's
women's
tale,
dress,
yeah,
and I'll
handmaid
still
wife.
Take your bitch. That's really the idea.
That's what he was going for?
That's the idea. I just feel like when it's a dude. I mean, for the most part, you're thinking straight, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Prince
thinking,
Morris Day,
like,
those
it's like,
types.
a dude who wants to be attractive to
Dwayne Wade.
you know. So it's like the idea is
This is
I'm
No, him too.
non-threatening. I'm like edgy.
I'm
I'm
safe.
gender bending,
Mm.
and women find that a lot. Not all, but a lot of women find that really like sexy. Like, oh, he wore a dress and he looks good.
And he was
in it.
confident.
Like he's a confident man.
For real?
Yeah, that's why. Like guys would that do it, like rock stars and shit like that. People who like pull it off.
They do it
They're
for
doing
that.
it for women. They're not actually. They
Wow.
don't care that dudes are like
Shout out to
gonna
Art.
be like, ew, you wore a dress. Like, what the fuck are you wearing a dress? He don't care because he done pulled like 5
Right.
girls that night.
He doing it for the panty dropper.
He's definitely doing it for women.
That's interesting.
You know.
That's crazy.
Very weird.
I mean, when it's like the rock star shit, that's
They doing it
strictly
because
for
they.
sex.
That's
I
crazy.
got you.
So Kid Cudi doing it, it's like this not even sexy, bro. Like, what are you wearing?
Why
Like,
you
this
doing
is
this?
This looks like grandma shit. Like
Land
you
of
wearing
Lakes
grandma
ass.
dress.
I mean, he tried to step in that space of being that fashionista type dude, and he's
That's
not.
But that didn't work.
Nah, it didn't work. He's not.
He's gotten all fits like his entire, with street.
With a stylist.
But when he tried to go too hard on the like androgyny and the fucking rock star shit, it's like, all right, dude.
So no.
How you feel about Andre 3000?
Uh-oh, here we go. No, here we go.
Well,
Because he wore dresses
he
too.
wore dresses. Too.
Yeah, but that's not what you're talking about. I know what you're doing.
What, the
Yeah.
piano shit?
Yeah, the piano.
I didn't hear it.
Good.
Is it a rap album?
No.
No.
It's a piano album?
Yeah.
See, she
So
said,
he
is it
went
a
from
rap
flute to
album?
Piano?
Yeah.
There
Is it
is
piano?
no.
Now let's
Not
break
good.
your ass.
It's not bad, but it's not. It's
He's
not.
playing piano like, and then other instruments around him. It's just him tapping on the piano.
It's not even like if you imagine like a piano. He's not doing it like he's playing and it's looping and it's like he's doing all these. He's playing piano, but he's like he's just doing it. Like if you just sat there and just started coming up with notes and tunes and just saying, I'm gonna record this. But we've been having this conversation.
You make it sound very cool, but that's not. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna record it. It's gonna be cool.
But you said rap album. He does not have a rap album. He's never done one.
Right.
I don't know why people keep expecting it.
I don't want to hear no damn flute pianos, motherfucker.
It was alright because it was like
It was different.
No, I thought it was gonna be like
okay, but the musicians that were playing with him were really great. So it's just like okay, so it's great music by default because you just.
It's like
got
Guru with
really,
Jazzmatazz.
Yes, exactly.
no, it's not because Guru was rapping.
Well, I mean, think of
But
the
he
flute
curated,
as the rapper.
yeah, he curated a jazz album and then he
Shaka
rapped.
Khan.
You executive produce and curate like he said, like hand.
Guru was not playing no motherfucking flutes.
I'm sure he wanted to if he could.
Nah. Nah.
Nah, Guru really was a lover of the instrumentation. He just wasn't a player.
Nah,
But I just feel like there's also an art in the production of that, being a producer and like curating and handpicking these artists to play with you.
Yeah.
Because they'll sound good together.
That's very important. Yeah, absolutely.
It is important.
And he did that.
Together.
Yeah.
He did that.
So,
and you
so
always
that flute album I respect in terms of like, oh, you actually put together some crazy musicians.
No, listen to the piano album. It's something on there.
It's something on
There's something on there. It's not the same as the flute album. That's why.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Something.
Yeah, it's not another.
But
it's not a repeat.
Piano and nothing else.
There's a little bit of something else here and there, but it's not the. It's not the flute. It's not the same chemistry. It's a different concept. And he's
an artist,
he's
man.
traveling.
He gets to do that.
I mean, he was always the Sun Ra of hip hop anyway. To me,
yeah.
he was all over the place. Like when you thought you was gonna get the best Andre album, he did Love Below, which was not a rap album either.
I predicted that. I knew he wasn't. I know he ain't gonna get no rap album. I know that. I predicted the Love.
He don't got it in him.
I don't see.
For what?
See?
What do you mean?
Like, not that he can't do it. I'm not saying he can't, but he doesn't have the willingness. He doesn't have the desire
or the confidence. I don't think he's got the confidence.
And I think he lacks the confidence. I think he don't want to put his bars out there and have the way the people scrutinize it nowadays. He don't want to even put himself up.
And it would be just him. So you know how he feeds off of the other people on a song by himself. There's no one to feed off of.
Ooh.
So he would be in his own world with his own thoughts. He would not be able to do it.
And when he did do, yeah, I don't think. I mean, dude, you still rapped on Love Below. He rapped on Roses. He rapped on Valentine's Day. He rapped on some of those records. Yeah.
You pull those up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta look at that. The presentation was still packaged.
It was still not a rap album.
But it was still paired. It wasn't a whole spotlight on him by itself.
Sure.
So in that case, there's a crutch.
It's safe. It's still safe for him, so he can't get judged alone.
He don't want that solo.
Yeah, I don't think he could do it. I don't think that's his world.
It's Big Boy's world, though.
Oh, hell
put
yeah.
out like 5 solo tracks.
I don't think it's such a bad thing, though. I mean, maybe he's hit his ceiling of that.
Maybe.
He gets to do what he wants. I think we as fans be wanting what we want.
That's what Mos Def said.
Be demanding shit. And it's like, yeah, I definitely would love an Andre 3000, like just pure rap album. I want a pure rap album from fucking Angel, my wife. I'm not getting it. Not even as much as I'd be like, yo, you gonna rap?
No.
What if Andre's album was like The Kids off of the Tribe album?
The Kids off the Tribe album.
The last Tribe album. He did that song with Q-Tip. The Kids.
Song called Kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
I don't hear that shit.
See?
LOL.
You know what I'm saying?
But then what
That
about
was
if he
Q-Tip
spitting
fault.
on there like he spit on Killer Mike album?
That's
what
the
I'm
thing.
That's what people want.
But I don't know.
Or
if
like the
don't wanna
Donda
do
verse
that.
when he did.
You don't want to do that.
No.
The thing, and that's sometimes as an artist, that's the thing too, because people be like, we want this thing from you. And that's like the lead, you're not interested. You're not interested in doing that. You're interested in doing something else.
Yeah.
But you know
And then
what?
your fan base is like, nah, do this thing we want
Look at
you
these
to do.
piano keys,
The
nigga.
problem with that is once he realized, I mean, he's been in the industry since he was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's seen and thrived behind the curtain. He's seen
They
what
was
the curtain-
performing on Martin. I seen them on Martin.
He's seen what the curtain is made of.
Remember Marsh?
Once you see the reality that all this shit fake, and it don't matter how fresh and dope and skilled and talented you are in the grand scheme, that'll make you more jaded than
Yeah.
getting jerked.
So that's Lauryn Hill. He's got the Lauryn Hill effect.
She only got one album.
And she said, enough is enough.
He got 2
What's it? Wow.
unplugged.
Oh, that is, I guess that is an album.
But
She doesn't
isn't it
have a
the
pure
live
rap album,
version?
So like,
See,
the
again,
more years go by, the less Lauren can be on lists.
you're right. That's a good
And
point.
I hate that people are making a good case for that because it's like, oh, people be like, oh, top 10 female artists. of all
Well, nah.
time, and then they'll put her hella high, and it's just like
I mean, she
that
did.
wasn't even a pure rap album.
Right.
So if we're judging just on bars, the
I mean-
majority of the songs on there are not with bars.
Nah, them Fuji bars, though, was crazy.
That don't count.
Yeah,
You can't count her Fuji's bars.
Right.
yeah.
Just like we're not counting Andre's Outcast.
Yeah, you
bars.
can't count them.
You
See?
can't count them.
That's true.
Once you go solo, that's
So
what
that-
it is.
But see, so as an example, like Mecca,
Hmm.
her solo album also, Tripping the Light Fantastic, was a totally different direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, like
On high road.
that seems to be a thing.
No.
Seems to be a thing for the people that we want to do these solo albums.
Artists are stubborn, like real, true to themselves artists. They're never gonna give you.
They're not going to give you what
exactly
you want.
What you want,
Shout out Yasin,
right?
because he going to make you go through hell and high water for this shit.
Still haven't heard the Alchemist and most stuff out.
I haven't heard
Is
that one.
coming out?
I don't know. It
I- my-
probably,
They
Is-
teased the shit out of that.
It hasn't come
I
out, and
gotta
I'm
do a
pretty sure
scavenger hunt.
that they're having a Taiwan situation right now with albums and how it's going to be released.
Notice I ain't said nothing because I'm all in that world that y'all talking
Right,
about. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
It makes sense, but I can't explain it.
yeah.
Like
Wow.
Andre would have to be here to explain.
To get really,
Okay, I see.
Or he'll have to be here. It's a feeling.
yeah,
It's like when Butterfly
Sure.
did his own thing with
Yeah.
The Bass.
The Bass
Yeah,
Palaces.
yeah, yeah.
They got a joint off the Blackout. Ironic.
Yeah.
Black Ups. It's a feeling.
You know when it's time.
Yeah.
It's not like you lost none of your swordplay, but you didn't sing too much
Mm,
sometimes.
yeah.
It's like I really could slice every motherfucking head off
Yeah, that's like when Lauren did the Nas
if I
feature,
wanted to.
Right.
and it was just like, oh God.
But what is the result? What's the game?
Then you
Yeah,
bet
what do I get?
They just
'Cause
expect more.
I already did that.
they expect more.
Right. Now the question is,
Are you hindering yourself when you do that?
no, because I've gained so much more life.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want, what you think is important.
That's the duality of it. Like
Mm,
Because if she wanted to have a family, she got that.
she got it.
So she won.
true.
Yeah.
She's got all the accolades.
She already said fuck the industry when she did it in the first place.
And she said it
competent
loud.
and skilled enough to know she can double back at any moment. It's not like she lost skill.
Well,
Right,
She just
right.
lost reputation.
yeah,
Credibility.
Like, so what?
Credibility.
Yeah.
But
And it's like, so what?
once she
They
show
niggas
up,
still gonna wait 3 hours.
Because if she
plus
dropped,
to
they
hear-
still gonna pop it and they still gonna play it.
She's
Yeah.
still gonna show up late.
Yep. Still gonna be like tweeting like, I can't believe she showed up 3 hours late. It's
but
like
you stay
everybody
for the
do it.
show.
Right, it's been going on.
It's been happening.
but
You
you
still
know, the
gonna do
people
it.
Who are the most judgmental are the people of your era, of your peers.
Hmm.
Because there's somebody who's 16 right now who don't know shit about booth bap.
Right.
Yeah,
None of that shit, right? And
Mhm.
once they discover her,
it's over.
it's the same purity of
Sure.
when people discovered her during her era.
Yeah, for the
So,
first time.
All she has to do is maintain her skill and her integrity. Yeah, her artistry will be there. It's
Yeah, so just don't
Because she's already
start a,
cemented.
don't start a podcast, Lauren Hill. Let
Please
her just rant
don't.
about the
Yeah.
music industry.
Oh, you mean that's
Please.
what Yasin does? What do you mean? Like that?
Everyone does. now.
But particularly
Everyone has-
Yasin,
Yeah, every
because he go off on his fans every other episode. Yeah.
Should be 'cause of
Yasin on the podcast going off on fans. Talib in the fucking tweets going
Yeah.
off,
He
calling everybody Nazi.
He already ruined his shit.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
I mean, niggas are still gonna listen to his shit.
Apparently.
They're still gonna slap, get by.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talib has been a thumbs down for a long time.
Yeah, he's been struggling.
Thumbs
He had to reinvent
down.
himself, though. Like his reinvention is in the pod space.
In the
Well,
pod.
he did that.
Oh, yeah, in
because
the
he, like,
daylight,
all
the
he does is
daylight,
yell
yeah.
about like cancel culture.
Yeah.
As an artist who's checking for quality. And there's no knock. It's just
No,
the
he
reality of
had
it
his
is
moment.
Your time has passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was making
You
that joke.
Talib, no one's like, oh shit.
That's why I was making that joke earlier when Consequence and him was beefing.
LOL. I loved every second.
That shit's
of
hilarious.
I loved every
That was
second.
that was the funniest
Consequence of being on
non-rapping
Black,
rap
like,
battle.
Black.
Right.
Okay. Oh God. This nigga's so mad.
How you feel about Kanye nowadays?
It's yay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's no Kanye.
Oh,
Capital Y,
sorry.
lowercase
It's the artist formerly known as
Sorry.
Let him know.
Sorry.
Oh, I mean,
Yay
listen,
Hero.
that motherfucker is cooked, roasted,
Sauteed, baked.
fricasseed.
Either that or he's the
Real
greatest
smoke.
troll of all time.
He is the greatest.
Yeah, he's the
troll of
greatest
all
troll
time.
of all
He's
time.
already done that.
Yeah.
I just think
You think he
everybody
really-
just like, he's like, yeah, I love Hitler. And everyone's like, okay,
Okay,
dude.
all right.
I hate my wife. We're just
All
like,
right.
But
He's
really,
like, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm crazy. I hate the Jews. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
I was like my cousin
Like-
did.
Right. Like, all right, man.
Literally, I'm just like,
That's a trick question.
say anything.
He like Bullwinkle. He
Because if
keep
you
pulling
want him,
shit out the hat.
He'll stop.
It's like,
I mean, he'll
no,
keep
it's
going.
not
And
working.
he'll double down.
I just think if everyone ignores him, it wouldn't even be a thing.
so that's the question. What do you want from him? Do you want him to stop or do you want him to continue?
I just want some dope
Me
music.
personally, I want him to stop
Yeah, me too.
because I want him to get some help. And
So
I don't mean like
You don't think this an act? You think
because
this?
I don't know what kind of help he needs,
Yeah.
but he needs some
So
help.
he's
Okay,
become a
gotcha.
caricature of
Of himself.
Yeah, and
himself.
he's just so rich. It's like, man, you did it.
He is
got to
officially
the-
a Boondocks character.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's like there's enough fame. Like they did a study. The big they did a study about like
them.
by the numbers, like how unhealthy is fame, and there's a certain amount of fame you get to where just everything is really unhealthy. It's
Yeah.
just too much attention on you,
Mm.
too much microscope being on something that it shouldn't be like that.
Agreed.
Too many people putting their opinion out there about you or things that are important to you. And once you reach a certain number of that, it's very unhealthy. It's not good.
And you have no
that
life.
over and over again. And I think the ego, I think the lack of
Big
No.
brotherism.
Yeah.
the lack of no's.
Yeah.
He didn't have a big
the
homie.
idea that if someone is trying to like check me for something, I just get rid of them.
It's like
That's dangerous.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying,
very
you know,
dangerous.
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
very
one of the
dangerous.
worst things that could ever happen to you is to have no one that can check you.
And he had one big homie that enabled him, and he had the other big homie that tried to check him.
Right?
And now, so Dame enabled him because Dame was trying to,
Yeah.
get money off of him.
Do his own
Yeah.
You said he
megalomaniac
enabled
thing.
them?
Dame enabled him because Dame would tell him, yeah, you're right. You should go tell him that. Like, egging him
Instigate.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, because it benefits him. Like, I'm in your corner.
Right,
Nobody else
right,
believe in
right,
you.
right.
I do. Go tell him.
Right.
Jay over there like, dude, you really should shut up.
Well, you should.
Like, shut the fuck down.
I made the album called The Blueprint. Did you think that was just
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm trying to tell you, it's not going to work the way you're doing it.
But yeah, I think it's just a sad case of like, if we really get into it, like a black man who really like got the world, lost his soul. It's like
Yeah.
a classic tale.
Yeah. it
And you
is.
can't blame everything on losing your mom because I know that is devastating and
He just never
definitely
recovered.
never downplaying a loss like that. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of people that lost their mom
Mhm.
that don't
They have to
all
keep
of a
it
sudden,
moving.
like start spewing hate speech.
Yeah.
And take it, and making their employees watch porn. And
Wait a minute, yeah, that's some weirdness.
yo, freaky boy antics, man. They said they just look down and Kanye be watching orgy put an orgy on the screen, just like, wait a minute, what we doing? It's
fucking
Tuesday
around.
at 10 a.m.
I haven't had my breakfast yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat my Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And, like,
Right, I'm trying to just
saying
be.
gang bang.
Gang
Like,
bang.
you're asking me
Bukkake.
specific questions about it, like, oh, how do you feel about her shoes? Like, what? Like, I want to design some
Hell
fun
no.
shit. We'll
Oh,
do a limited run.
fuck
Like,
pumps.
what?
Let's get them.
Yeah, dude's just. It's the that where you're saying the multiverse thing. I think that you can build your own world so much that you get trapped in it.
Yeah.
And he's definitely trapped trying to, like, you know, at some point you get to the like, oh, all press is good press, and
Nah.
he has a very interesting way of being like, see, I proved the point about capitalism, and you'd be like, what? Just because you yelled about Kim Kardashian for like 3 hours on
Yeah,
Twitter,
that
it's like,
doesn't
"See,
work like
y'all proved my point."
nah.
It's just like, what's your point?
Was you? I forgot you,
Yeah.
dude. So anyway.
Oh, and then I you know what, I just don't like when motherfuckers just do too much and then they get backlash and they be like, I'm a black man
Yeah.
in America.
Remember that?
Y'all don't care about a black man in America. You'd be like, bro, you were just saying Heil Hitler.
Yeah, like
How
with
are
the
you-
Ku Klux
like,
Klan
you're-
outfit on and shit. Like,
Right.
what the fuck you on?
You walking
bro?
around with Klan outfits, you selling swastika shirts.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
Fuck
pretty
you
That's weird.
anti-black and racist, bro.
Yeah, so you can't just jump
Yeah,
back
why
on
am
that shit.
Why am I caring that you're a black man in
Yeah,
America? Again? Like,
we're-
I don't understand. how
Who
that-
technically never has a black woman.
Yeah, he had a black partner like right before he.
Yeah, Kim. Oh, no, before Kim, I mean.
Yeah, Kim is the closest. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, before Kim.
And, Amber Rose definitely was like, I'm not
What is
black.
that?
Yeah, she.
You made it a
yeah,
point to
yeah,
let
so
us
let
all
that know.
Like, okay.
Oh, all right.
And yeah, I think he just got caught up in. And the one thing that kind of broke my heart about Kanye is that when he was like, I only did the music that I knew was gonna sell. So it
Yeah.
was like,
So you heard that?
he
Yeah.
was like in
yeah.
'99, early 2000s.
It was the
like,
hip hop
I live
shit.
in them was
Yeah.
running shit, so that's
So-
the music that I made.
Right.
And I
So
was like,
then-
damn, he was like, I don't believe in none of that.
I don't believe none of that
That
backpack
nigga
shit. Yeah.
That black power shit. Fuck that shit. It's like, damn.
But I don't think I didn't take that to heart too.
Yeah, you can't say none of it's hard.
Right here?
Get mad.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay. I already see some
But when he said it, I kind of was like,
original.
I think the hustle. Yeah, I see. It's like okay.
because you know whatever is working, is what-
Yeah, it's
It's
going.
fine
You
with
gonna
you,
flow
you
with
know?
right.
and nothing's working. The music's not working. He's mad at Adidas still, so a lot of those runs and a lot of those products are not happening.
That's true. That's true.
So like the only other current.
You be having this just everywhere.
I mean,
Like-
all his albums.
Let me get that.
Even if those
Right.
albums were good, the last like everything
There's
after
some-
Pablo like
Some organ.
is not making an impact.
It's not making a wave, and that's the problem. Because he could act crazy, and then he had this stellar album was that everyone loved and shit, and be like, all right, well he act crazy.
But his acting crazy wasn't like hate speech though.
That's true. That's true.
what makes it so like, girl, what? What did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Hitler, like yes, he did dress fresh, yes.
Because it went
but
from George Bush
Hugo
doesn't like white
Boss
people,
and,
doesn't like black
you know,
people.
like Mercedes Benz, they did hook y'all up when
Right.
y'all was doing your Nazi thing when
Right.
y'all first came out. That your uniforms was the flyest. We can give you that, but I don't understand the obsession.
Right, like
Like,
breathe.
what are we doing? And I just think he's just trying to be controversial, subversive, and if we're talking about him, at least we're talking about him.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And
right.
like I think a lot of artists get to the point where
Uh-huh.
they're not necessarily hot anymore,
Right.
so they do the extra shit.
I want
See,
to get him high.
Kanye popped out right at the same time.
Kanye instrumental, the real Kanye.
Ain't no real Kanye. It was all fake.
It was all, yeah, it was all
Yeah, this
fake
is
after the, yeah.
LOL.
That's the real thing that to come to terms. Because if you remember, there
It
was a
was all
point in time
marketing.
where he idolized Diddy.
And Mace.
Yeah, he used to dress like that, anything, silky shirts and shit.
That's weird.
So like you got to think about when people focus on who they look up to.
Right.
And why would you look up to that person when all he had to offer was
Crap.
the commercialism? That's what he wanted to be
looks
like.
good.
Yeah.
When pop culture moments happen,
Let me see that.
it's a real thing, you know.
I forgot
This
what's
country has perfected
The whole
pop
first
culture
album.
moment.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like big deal. Like I think about the
Yeah.
Jada Kiss back at Versus, at least
Oh yeah. That's a good one though.
just
That was a good one.
good television, just good.
That was a good lap
good
because
moments. Cause they had and they shit kind of blew up a little more.
it did, and it gave them that notoriety that they needed in that
They
push.
deserve to be in all the great New York, you know, hardcore group conversations.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
to be in those conversations.
Holy shit.
And I think they reminded us that just in case y'all trying
You
to
forgot.
leave us out of these
Yeah,
conversations,
we belong in here.
Yeah, we belong in this shit.
And they're
That's
really authentic what they are, who they from, and you know it is what it is with them. It was dope because just seeing that dynamic
Wow.
of them versus the Dipset, and just
How
like
far
yeah,
you
y'all
got?
falling
No,
apart
I'm still
over
going
here.
from the beginning.
And he's calling it out like, yo, they're a distraction. We really in New York.
No, it was,
like, oh,
it was
shit.
sitting on the turntable, so I was
Come
like, I was gonna look for
outside.
That's just good shit.
It's like, all right,
It might
I
be
feel
in
you,
this
I
pile.
feel you. I see you.
Might be this one.
That was dope. That was a versus thing was weird.
it. Oh, wow.
Once they took it off,
That
it
was
like
crazy.
quarantine thing and a Zoom, sort of a Zoom
Niggas was in the
thing.
crib battling each other.
Yeah, when niggas was in their own
Nancy
crib,
Wilson.
Battling each other.
that was exciting.
Yeah.
Once they took it to venues, it's an understandable scale,
Rams.
but it's like
That's a good album.
more.
Right. Right.
You know, like I understand. You know, this was a concert series, but way different and special.
Yeah.
Once it got to the fucking
No, this one
real
clean.
venues and people in the audience.
Oh,
Yeah, it
The
changed.
best
That's
one.
hold
of
up.
those
Was the Jada? Was the Locks?
Yeah, that was great.
That's
Yeah.
electric relaxation
That was great.
instrument.
I don't
They were-
remember.
A lot of them were terrible.
What?
Yeah, I don't remember too many. Like the Jill Scott and Erica was trash.
Yeah.
That was so boring.
Yeah, it was boring.
They were like Queen.
Queen.
this song,
Yo.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now.
All right.
The best parts about those is where they would kind of like one would sing.
Oh, I
along
never
to
heard
the other
this.
song.
And that's the
When
to hear
that shit
that.
happened,
Yeah, hear
that
that
was
harmony.
always dope.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
But other than that, it was like Queen. Because I think they just wanted, because it was like, you know,
People
like
wanted the
women
beef.
against each
Yeah,
other.
people
So I
wanted the
think they
beef.
wanted to push that, like, we're not beefing.
Queen.
And I think that was was that right around the time Jaguar Wright was first on the scene?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was saying so much shit about, like, Erica and
Everybody.
Everybody, really.
She talking big shit about, like, Jill Scott.
Yeah, she went for Jill, Erica.
went for
She
Jill
went for
hard.
Black Thought. She went
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
yeah. She started just going through.
Well, she was just mad at
Common.
for the way that they handled Malik B death.
Yeah.
So when she first started ranting and raving and hooting and
It
hollering,
was about Malik.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is
Yeah,
tea,
yeah.
and I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. It's weird.
And then it was like, all right, this is tea, and I kind of believe it, and whoa, like, hold on.
I don't know. I don't know
Comedy
this
what?
tea.
Yeah.
Right, go with it.
Comedy or what? I was like, I'm dating Jennifer Hudson. He was like, man, get this shit off my jacket. Get girlfriend quick. Like, God
Damn, the instrument for that.
But yeah, I think I think with Jaguar Wright, like she's definitely on that broken clock. Like, but I think the thing is she's whatever psychosis or
She
mental
took-
health
yeah.
she has, it
She-
gets just like mixed up in with like
So you don't
stuff
know.
that is real.
Is it that, or does she
Facts
just
and
found?
honesty.
Or does she just did it?
Not
Started doing it to
way.
be relevant?
I think
Because the
that
J Beyonce, when she started going into all these,
yeah, when she started telling like stories about the
People she
industry,
never
and then
was
she would, like,
around.
place herself
like, you was
in-
never there.
she definitely was like, oh, when Kool and the Gang made that song, I was there. I was 12.
Right.
No,
Cut it out.
No, hold on now.
That's when I started really
Yeah.
like. I'm like, hey,
she
wait a
started
minute.
like placing herself in places where no.
Like you were never that
you were
level
not
artist.
there.
Like you didn't hang
Like
with
you went
them.
to lunch. You went to lunch with Jay-Z once. And it was probably like 50 other people at the table. You know what I mean?
She
Like,
did a little more. She
definitely-
ran on stage.
Definitely. Like Jaguar Wright, I'd be like, she be saying stuff that's real and true, but it's like half of what she says is true.
She does what Trump does.
And half of what she says is utter bullshit, and you don't always know which is which.
Because you heard what Trump just said recently, right? He said conspiracy theories.
No, I didn't hear that.
He said conspiracy theories are spoiler alerts.
That went crazy.
That's a bar.
That is a bar.
That's bar.
But that's what he does.
I hate that man.
He has a marketing team that scours social media to find the shit that we say that's slick.
Stole that line from somebody.
He did.
Girl, and I mean that with all the masculinity in my heart. Girl, yes.
He does that. And that's why I was cracking up at it, because they very much remind me of each other, the way they kind of play these, like, because everybody was on the Jay-Z Illuminati train. Suddenly she was talking about Jay-Z.
All that shit. And you know what? She had to go away for a while.
Who?
Jaguar Wright.
Where'd she go?
She just had to be quiet for a while. Once that first Jay-Z allegation came out with the young girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was real heinous.
Because they had to because then they didn't know who it was, and she wanted to make sure they didn't think it was her.
And Jaguar Wright was real
yeah, she was like, nope.
loud right at first. And then Jay-Z was like, yeah, we're planning. It was like a rumor that he was planning on getting at Jaguar Wright too, and I think that was a.
She's like, nope. She's like, nope. But then she's not crazy.
No, and she's not crazy. She's not crazy because she came back. She was like, it's all AI. It was all manipulated. I was like, oh, convenient.
She's not crazy. She worked
with
it.
like the MAGA white people now.
What you mean?
Right. I heard
You saw that shit?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So because of her work against like Jay-Z, remember she took that shit all the way to like
Piers Morgan. Yeah.
Which
was a big
I don't know
deal.
how she got on there.
That was exactly, but Jay-Z and Beyonce have enough enemies.
Okay.
Because she did that, people with those kind of interests,
they ran with that.
People, anti-black shit, MAGA shit. They were like, we'll give you some money and some notoriety. They gave her, I mean, awards don't mean much depending on who gives them to you, but she got like an award for like defending freedom, defending like America's freedom.
I've been really missing out.
It was like a bunch of white people who like are MAGA political people, right wing as fuck, and like they gave her a little bit of a check.
Word?
So she running with MAGA now.
See, that's
Which
very.
is what all niggas do when they get canceled.
Very similar to Ye.
Like, oh,
they run.
Is that not what Ye's doing?
I just hate niggas now.
That's exactly what Ye doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a playbook.
It's like they're following the same formula.
Yes, it's like you.
Candace Owens was doing it until that didn't work out for her no more.
She be flip flopping. One day she'll say something that's real pro black. I'll be like, what timeline am I in?
Right. That's that multiverse shit.
Galactic shit. That's something I agree with.
Yeah. I think what happens with Candace is that she ends up getting like she played the game too to get to.
Yeah.
And then when that
the Boondock shit.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
They all play the game, and then when it backfired.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tommy Loren.
Yeah. And Philo, he was the pastor shit. Bro.
He was like,
hey, what's good?
They were debating hard on TV.
It's wrestling.
He's talking mad shit, and then he came back and get hugging and shit.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It's all fake.
It is.
And it's a game too, and it's funny y'all bringing that up because it's like you play the black card literally, and then when that card run out, you go to the next day.
And then when that card run out, you bounce back.
A white card.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like how
it's wild to think about.
What do you say? Every time an underground artist make a comeback.
Yeah, right.
You go back to the underground, like, okay,
I'm back, y'all. Remember me?
Remember me?
I'm Will Smith.
I never.
Oh hell no! Stop.
Did anybody listen to that shit?
I don't know.
No.
I heard some people be like that album was alright. Like that album was trash.
Like you can hear
that song with Tiana Taylor was trash.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Really did song with Tiana?
LL had a decent album.
I like LL.
And he was honest.
I like LL. Yeah.
LL got and
that was Q-Tip album.
That's been my. That's
we
been
get
my
it's
theory.
off the case.
You listen to it.
Ain't no album
Q-Tip
review, nigga.
bars.
That was Q-Tip album.
Like there are songs that LL wrote, but all of them is not LL. That's a Q-Tip. That's the Q-Tip album.
Well, that's why it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
L very much like
That's
I'm
the
right
that's the
from
album that they refused to release by
right
him,
from the
that he
top
got
of the
pissed
mountain,
about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Really, like,
that album was amazing when
Like
I first
I'm
had
bigger
it.
than life. I'm
You still
a
have that song in here?
rapper. Like,
Yeah, I love that
Alright.
album.
Even though I'll be talking this shit though.
Yeah.
I only got it on CD.
He said something that
I got
was
the
like,
vinyl.
Yeah, you're right. You are the first rapper to do that. It was something big too. I forgot what it was.
Huh?
Tango hat.
It ain't come out on
No, it
vinyl.
came out on. They had a test vinyl. They had a test vinyl.
He was saying something like
At the
he was
time they
first
did.
rapper
That's
to
when I
do
had it.
It might have been.
And it was called Kamal the Abstract.
And it's probably,
And it was like, damn.
You might have it because
Yeah,
it
you
came out.
gotta
It was a
think about
limited amount.
he is like
And I'm
one
pretty
of the
sure
first streamline
You gotta
rappers.
have it.
You know what I mean? And he kept his career steady.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, joints for everyone, girls.
Yeah.
You had the girl hits.
Once they were like, oh, he takes his shirt off.
It was nice.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, cha-ching. That's it.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
He wouldn't have had such a long career if women didn't find him
Ooh,
attractive.
that's what it
That's
is.
true.
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Then he
Nice.
stop licking his lips.
Yeah.
Like, girl,
Oh my goodness.
stop.
Oh, look at the color of this.
Yeah,
Hat like a shark fin.
This is nice. Yeah.
Funny guy. Funny rappers.
Did you see Sinners?
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you see
I
that?
saw it twice.
Okay, okay. What'd you think?
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I want to see it again because there's like little nuances and shit. But
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of new ones that is like layered in there.
yeah, so I just want to catch things that I didn't catch before. But I think it's a great commentary on white folks and how black joy is so threatening
And how they use it.
and how they use it, and also black talent,
Hmm.
how they'll lie, cheat, and steal and kill for it.
Mm.
A lot of people was taking the angle about like how Sinners is a commentary on like the music industry and how because you know, at the end of the day, that's what the vampires wanted.
They wanted his
They
music.
wanted Preacher Boy.
You know, they wanted his music. And the scene where the barn, I mean the whole place burnt down, and you see all the different energies from the past and future all at once. It was the vampire that was seeing that.
Yep.
That was the A&R seeing the potential of that
Yeah.
artist,
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Oh man, this is how I can market him."
And I think they said, and I missed it because I just missed it, but they were saying that dude, the main vampire dude, he was trying to get closer to his ancestors in Ireland.
Yeah,
Right.
he missed
So-
his family.
Yeah, and
And-
so if he was able to absorb dude's talent,
He could use that music to
could
call
use
on
it.
his ancestors.
Yeah.
You know?
so that's what you know, and that's why when he had him at the shore, when he was saying no, he was like, no, I want it all. I don't want just your music. I want your stories.
Yeah, he want everything
I
about
want
him.
your life. I want everything.
I want your essence.
Yeah, and it just shows like I'm like, yo, that's just like the music industry. They want everything. But yeah, a lot of commentaries. It's like, oh, the white girl fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I go and see for myself.
I watched this one like
Well, greed. That's what it was. It was greed.
Creed too, yeah.
Because
They got money.
it was stacked in her that said, "Nah, go out there."
Yeah, get their money. They got money to spend. Let's figure
Yeah.
out how to get it. There was such a funny.
Well, they fell
comedian
for
that
the
was
trap
like-
there.
He said, he was like, I wanted more for the big titty magic woman. I was like, why you calling?
Wait, who said that?
There's just like this comedian. He was like, I wanted more from the big titty magic woman.
I didn't want her to die. Yeah.
Black magic woman.
And then he said, he said, I went to see Sinners with my girl, and she said, you know, that last scene where, you know, Smoke, you know, was dying, and like she came back, and like she had the kid and everything. Was like, you can come with us.
Right.
And he said his girlfriend was like, so you got to breastfeed even in heaven?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The
my
land
God.
of milk and honey.
Honey.
Like you still got to work, huh?
You still gotta do the work. Yeah.
It don't stop.
Unfortunately.
Faith without work is
Unfortunately.
dead.
Breastfeeding kids
In heaven.
Yeah,
afterlife.
you're right.
How are they
Spiritual
gonna
milks.
grow up? Like, what did that even,
Like,
does
what?
that even happen?
That really had me dying when you said
Oh,
that. I was like,
shit.
damn.
That's why you can't get intellectual on these movies.
No, because they said, like, they were like, women just didn't have it good. Because they said, especially her, it's like, she was like, I prayed for you, even though you left me. And then he was like, all right,
How'd
I'm
that
back.
work out?
I'm going to have sex with you. And now I want you to work for me some more. Like, I need you to make some grits for 100 people.
Just outright, right? Like,
in 5 hours.
Right now.
Like, and then she went and died.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
rough.
That's a rough homecoming, man.
When you put it that way,
Yeah, right.
damn.
Because he definitely came back and she was like, well, he was like, well, what you want me to say? I missed you. Like, yeah, tell me you missed me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you crazy?
I didn't even think about those dynamics. See, I gotta see the movie again. It's
The
so
movie
much.
is crazy.
Super funny.
Yeah, it's so
When
much.
they put it that way, I was like,
Hey, Coogler's on one.
He's on.
If he can keep up this momentum of what he's doing,
Ain't no momentum. Just write your movies and just do what you gotta do. I mean, it was no build up for
Sinners
this.
2 better be just as good.
I don't want.
well, that's what I don't want.
I don't want.
You know
Sinners
that's what
too.
it's gonna
Yeah, I
be.
don't want Sinners too.
Better do it, Sinners 2.
Like, I was disappointed he turned down X-Men to do Black Panther 3. I think he.
Is that a true story?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm tired of him with Black Panther.
Which X-Men? X-Men coming up now?
I would rather him not do another Black Panther.
I'd rather him do X-Men, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think they went to him with that.
I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I think he needs to open up into this independent, his own creative storytelling.
I
Like,
agree.
He needs to get in that lane more.
I agree.
You know, maybe that'll put a fire under.
Creed 4.
Yeah, no.
I want that.
But we need some challenge to Peele. Something to make Jordan Peele realize you ain't the only one, fam.
Well, that's what this one was. I feel like Sinners.
Yeah, Sinners puts.
If Jordan Peele thought he's the only nigga doing some good black horror,
It's like, nah.
now he's not.
No. So nah, and then he got that movie getting ready to come out. I'm hoping it's good.
The football movie.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, with
which is also about
Marlon
selling your
Wayans.
soul.
Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty good.
And Marlon can act, so I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be
Yeah, that motherfucker-
some drama.
Pushing one tear out.
Yeah,
Right.
2 hours
squeezing it.
straight. That motherfucker be crying. Yeah. Like, yo, you be showing us the Denzel.
Oh,
he be
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, he definitely he'll push a tear out on your ass real quick.
But man, yeah, that's gonna be. I hope it's good. I mean, I've been 50-50 on every movie he's come out with. The only one that I was a little more than 50-50 was
Scary movie.
was Nope.
1 and 2.
Oh, you talking about Jordan Peele?
No, Jordan Peele.
Oh, you mean Jordan Peele? I thought you meant Marlon.
No, Marlon, I can't.
Get Out, I fucked with, but it was. You know what's mad though about Sinners though? It still makes me really, really mad.
What?
It's like the idea that like, oh, the vampires are gonna fuck y'all up,
There you go.
Uh-oh.
and then in the morning
Ah,
the clan
there we go.
come fuck y'all.
Fuck you up.
Either way,
yeah.
you fucked.
fucked.
So in the
Yeah.
nighttime, the vampires, then when the day break, fucking clan.
White folks is
So should you been a vampire? Just took the bait?
man.
We didn't take the bait. He
The
wasn't trying
power and freedom. You'll
Yeah,
be
the
free. No
eternal
one fuck
life
to,
with
that
or
dude
whatever.
was lying.
your life.
He was lying. Well, the eternal life.
I mean, you're a vampire. I mean, I don't know
No,
what
because
it
remember,
means
had
to be
they
a
not
vampire.
killed the main vampire, they all would have been slaves to him.
Ah, true. Right.
The only reason why Stax and his girl was free was because they
Because
killed
killed
the master.
Women, yeah.
They would have been all. Remember, they was all following him and
Yeah,
puppeteering
right,
under him.
right.
They were. He definitely was like the main orchestrator. Of it.
So that wouldn't. That's no
Everything he
life.
Said was like. That shit was funny though when the Native Americans came.
See, I
to them
wanted
white
more of
people
that.
house. I'm sorry if a Native man come to my house and he's
Dead
like-
ass serious.
and he,
Yeah.
and he says the thing that just happened. Oh, did you see a disturbing character? And it just shows how racism, you know.
Goes over,
Well,
right?
and they were
Yeah.
clans.
Like-
Yeah.
Because if he was white, they
would've
probably
listened.
would have listened to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But because he was native, they would
And his boy,
get off my land.
his boy on the horse was like, "Hey man, it's getting dark. Let's get the fuck
Let's
up out
He's
of here."
like, the
go.
sun is going down. We gotta get the fuck
I
up
want
out
to
of
see
here.
them get busy, Joe. I know they had some shit.
Yeah, 'cause they had been on the
arrows.
run.
Ooh, I know they had the hookup, man. I want to see them in action.
They was on the run.
But the one thing I did notice that someone did say too, they said in that scene there was a baby crib.
in there,
And
and
there was a baby crying at one point.
In
Yeah,
the
it
white
was.
folks' house.
And they didn't,
but we
the
never
baby
saw
didn't
that
make it.
baby.
We never saw that baby again.
No, he drunk that motherfucker to
ate the baby.
heal.
He ate the baby.
That's how he healed. Remember, he was burning in the sun on the way there. He was starting to smoke.
Yeah.
He went in there and drank that baby to heal up.
And he definitely had some.
He's still a vampire
had
at the
some
end of the
veal.
day.
It was like veal.
He said veal.
So
He got
Bill.
some virgin blood, like
Yeah. Oh my god.
oh,
That's what Cornish hens are.
he just messed my
Well, they're
whole.
hens.
She's messing up my whole psyche right now. Like, now I'm visualizing.
Fucked up
Like,
many Easters
damn.
I had Cornish hens.
I
God
love
damn.
Cornish hen. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's the goodies.
Ah,
That's the goodies.
baby blood.
Do you watch the Marvel movies?
No, not really.
Nah.
Not enough to speak like intelligence.
So you didn't see the Thunderbolts?
No.
Okay.
Good.
I heard that was good though.
It was good. It was a good treatise on depression
Oh, really?
and the different things that result from your traumas, that come from your traumas. So that made it good.
Okay.
More of that than it was about superheroes.
Oh, another thread. There's a thread that was through there.
It's good.
A through thread.
Huh? Wait, what's that?
Some photography from Jaya. This shit dope.
That is. I'm looking at that one right there.
Yeah, all the shit, all the stuff is dope.
How are we coming with that?
We're not finished. It's coming.
We getting close though?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
When's your next project coming out?
Me?
Yeah. Well, you had, because your last one was last year, and that was tight.
Thank you. Is this a safe space?
Yeah, that was. And some of them, is this a safe space, and then telling what they wanted to say. It was some hilarious shit.
Yeah.
They was saying some
I
crazy
did not
shit.
tell them what to say. So
And they just came up
the
with
fact
it on the
that
fly.
They said what they said. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, right. Like the Egg McMuffin was a bit much.
That was when I first heard that. I said, okay.
Like, that's different.
Yeah, that was like we got a good joke on here. Cause I was like, you could be as serious or unserious as you want, you know.
Dude cracked me up. He said, I think I'm homosexual because the chicks with the fades.
Oh yeah, I think I'm pansexual. Homegirl got a fade and they are doing it for me.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell.
What was that?
This off of her last album.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. Like, it's like in between the songs, there's someone asking, is it a safe space? And then they proceed to, okay, because.
Yeah,
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, they
That's
be
fine.
going in. They be going in. Man, what is playing right now?
yeah, my homegirl was like, "Oh, is this a safe space? I think I had more dildos than I have."
Yeah, then I had
healthy
successful relationships,
I
yeah.
was like, whoa. I was like,
I'm like, hmm.
Oh shit.
Like, I think I know
I'm
some
getting
people
the
like that.
what are you talking about?
I think I know a couple of people like that. Like, seriously. Nah, that was tight. What inspires you with them ideas? Like, cause each album goes into like an interesting space.
I don't know. I think it's like we were talking about earlier, like the feelings. I think for me, you know,
212.
do a couple songs
230.
that you know are gonna be on a project, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
slowly
just cut
kind of
out.
like reveals itself of what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's 2
Mm.
hours.
This
man.
last one, we had so many
I
songs
know.
before, so
There's a lot of
me and Optics, it was more about just like what's gonna make the album, what's not gonna make the album.
Yeah.
And then he had an idea for a album title for a long time.
Was that it?
Huh?
Was that the album title he had?
No, he
Oh.
wanted to call it Potent.
That's
That's what he wanted to call it.
that's very
And for a long time, I was just like,
not inspiring.
I was just like, I wouldn't hate it if we called it that, but I just think there's a better idea out there. So we just gave it time.
But that title won.
Yeah. And I think it, a lot of people, that's just like a joke when people say it's a safe space and they say something real dumb.
Like,
Yeah.
House
You know, I just wanted to
loss.
play on that
or
idea,
loss?
but just talk about some real serious shit too,
Yeah.
You always find it.
and then just
Because if you go back,
Object's house was my safe space.
okay, okay,
Especially throughout coming out of the pandemic, through the boycott and stuff.
also that's when it was recorded.
Oh no, that album,
Rolled
a
up.
lot of those albums had really started to take shape around like 2017, 2018. A
Oh,
lot of those
okay.
albums,
So you was
songs were slow, very slow roasted.
okay.
And then once we realized we had an album for real, okay, that we're working on this, then I would fly to Brooklyn to work on it.
Okay.
He's a special dude in that he's not gonna send you. He'll send a pack of beats, but you have to record them with
You
him.
don't remember?
That makes sense.
Yeah, like I got like if me and Optics work on a record I have to record.
Might be.
Yeah, that's very much him.
Yeah.
Like you can't take his
I'm
number.
not mad at it, you know.
No, it makes
Even though
sense.
I
Ain't
came
that
over
what
here and did a
God
song with Tom
did?
One when I came over here.
Okay.
Haven't
Oh,
heard
you
that
know your
shit
tricks
since.
by now.
Hey, he's a hoarder.
He's a song hoarder for sure.
He's got stuff on that PC
The
that's.
very next day, I was like, "Can I hear that shit?" He was like, "I'll send it to you."
Federal job
Hey, Ty,
might be funny.
where's the song she recorded?
Which one? Me and her?
Yeah,
We recorded a banger last time I was over here.
Wanna hear?
yeah,
Because, you know, song hoarder over here.
yeah.
Tom Porter.
No, you know what? I wanted to put it on either some Coach Power shit or the perpetual.
The eventual.
Plugs into let's rally the troops for a real
Oh shit, get the
Real
band back
Nacro.
together.
Yeah.
I only want to do a new Nacro project if it's new material. And
Yeah.
I know that's tough.
Is it
That's
though?
what I see.
Of course, yeah. Why would we do
Because everyone rapping.
Yeah,
You got
but why would it be
Blue
tough?
Collar Rock Stars, you got
Because
her,
some people
yo.
it's challenging.
To get to, I got you. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay.
Everyone working though.
They all working separate though.
Everybody's
New
not
rap.
working.
Challenging to
you
get new
want?
raps. Is that what you mean?
Who you want?
Challenging to get new raps.
Yes. I want to hear your 40-year-old raps
Hmm.
because we've already lived our 20s, 30s, and that's fine. We're giants, right?
Don't need no 30, 20-year-old raps.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
We
saying.
need giant raps.
Because
Old.
here's the thing: the shit that I'm saying in my 40s,
Yeah.
I'm swinging at my 20-year-old me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ideas that need
Shout.
got better.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
I understand me more now. Obviously, all of us that we've lived in the skin for half a century.
Yeah.
almost.
Oh my God, when you put it like that, that's crazy.
But you know what I'm saying? So you know how to lean into yourself more. You know how to use your instrument better. You know how to just chop. I mean, look at some stuff now. Let's talk about Whippersnapper
Mm.
to now.
Mm.
It's a same person.
But you can tell the difference. Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for us, we've been there.
Yeah.
I seen it from college
Mm-hmm.
when she came after we was leaving.
Mm.
Pretty much.
So I seen there's a pre-story to that, but I seen from that story up to now. And I'm just like the evolution and
It's crushing,
the
yeah.
ageism of music and artistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's
Because it's like
bullshit.
you would think you're supposed to get better.
Yeah.
Right.
You're supposed to have a 30 Decembers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I can smoke my young me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I can dust him.
Yeah.
He was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
I would not trust him.
Uncontrolled beats.
You would not give him a moment.
Young Galaxy, oh my God.
No space.
Galaxy.
He
No
could
breath.
He could outsmoke his own imagination. That boy was wild. But you know what I'm saying? He was relentless, fearless. And now we don't move with fear, but we understand consequence more. You know what I'm saying?
You the Kung Fu master now.
Yeah, we see food up.
Economy of scale. You don't have to do all that rah-rah. You just move.
I think we understand time different too. Like at a point, time didn't exist to us. But now we respect what time is. So you be more intentional with your moves.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just different. So that's why I would like to see the collective. I want to see
Now.
Cat's perspective now. Because on the beats, still ain't nobody fucking with the squad on the beats.
Nah.
Like our range, when you talk about all the producers, when you range from Kenny to Yoda,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? This just that right there in itself
Yeah.
covers the whole spectrum.
Yeah, that's full. That's healthy.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it sounds like you got a goal in mind.
We gotta talk to the chief.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean it's just getting everybody like so right now you might see Dale talking about Hyro because they working on their shit.
Mm-hmm.
The way he talking about it, that energy is like
Sound like they about to. Yeah.
But more so aside from artistically it's dope, just the collective space they in as men and whatever. They good. The synergy is great.
Yep.
I would love if we could just get in that.
Get there.
If we could take a fucking retreat and go record, like fuck it, we out.
Necro retreat.
You know.
So you mean travel and then record on the travel?
Yeah, just get like a
You know, he want to go to Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we in a tech era. Like
I'm with that.
mobile is nothing
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm
That
with
Peter
that.
Tosh about to die.
I'm with that.
You know, but I would want motherfuckers to want to do it too. I don't want people to feel like it's obligated.
Sure.
You know what I'm
Responsibility,
saying?
right.
Because we've sacrificed for each other so much over these years. I don't want it to feel like it's a burden. Because we all have always been a one-stop shop in-house. We've never needed motherfuckers.
True.
And as we've gotten, more broader with our experience, we really don't need nobody. We've done every facet of this,
That's actually true.
from stores to distribution, to touring, to international, to local,
To visuals.
to photography, to publishing, to fucking non-for-profit, to schools, to teaching, to books. We've done it all.
Yeah.
We've been in films. Like, we've covered the full terrain. Name a crew at the crib that's done that. Like, the legacy is strong. We just have to remember we giants.
Right.
That's all it is. It's not really about reminding motherfuckers the legacy. It's really for us, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Like, cats can read about us in history, that's fine, but how do we feel about ourselves when we walking around?
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
I'll fuck with that.
I'll be ready to fight.
Say that uplifting shit.
No, that's the violence. I'll be ready to fight for the shit. Like, we come from a different cloth of grit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers passionate. They passion be funny to me. Like, you should never be able to measure passion, but I be looking at motherfuckers like, your passion levels is low.
I see you. I see
You
what
know
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, I don't fucking believe you.
They on autopilot.
Not that.
Not even autopilot.
It's
It's
no
just, I
pilot.
don't believe you.
You said no pilot.
For real.
Damn.
You believe everything you hear from motherfuckers, even though you know they're lying. And I'll be entertained by your lies.
Right.
Sure. But they don't even
I
believe
don't
it.
even believe.
Like, you gotta believe your lies for me
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like entertaining to just let you lie.
That's true too.
You know?
Because it's like I want to see you sink in that hole.
Damn.
Yeah, keep going.
Well, you know,
Yeesh.
I just
Lie.
love the fact that I'm not mad at the saturation. I love the participation, but I do think that there needs to be measuring sticks
Mhm.
because you can't categorize everything in one lump sum. We ain't the same as certain motherfuckers, and we don't belong in the same brackets
Yeah.
because it's not fair. Nothing's fair, you know what I'm saying? But it's not fair to critique some shit. You can't compare apples and oranges.
Right.
Understand? Two different types of citrus, motherfucking
Apples.
Right.
nature.
Is sour
Nature
stop
broke
over
it,
here?
You know?
True.
But I mean, right now, I like the energy from the crib, though. I just think it needs to be. It's still messy.
It's very messy.
How so?
Well, what been the last month?
Because
What's been going on?
What's been going on?
Those words right there.
Yeah.
I mess.
You know what it is? The crib is got all the potential and all the talent in the world. Follow through. It's messy.
Yeah.
We don't always have we have a sprinter attitude. We have 100-meter. A lot of motherfuckers come from out of here. They don't have an 800-meter race in them.
And ain't no cross country at all.
Nah.
If they lose popularity in any way,
They
they
gonna burn.
quit.
Yeah.
They're gonna burn.
You see that with a lot of people. They just stop doing it. And be like, damn, you stopped because it ain't even necessarily a fall off as it is I'm not getting the same result doing the same thing, and I'm not willing to explore other ways of doing this because I don't care about music that much, or I don't care about this that much. I cared when niggas cared.
Right.
But if I feel that niggas don't care, then I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? And that's, unfortunately, I mean, again, knowing, okay, is this something I'm gonna do for life? And if I do it for life, would I be doing it if I wasn't popular at it?
See that in itself, to even have that question to say, would I be doing this for life? If you are a true artist,
yeah, if
It's
it's an
gonna
artist,
go.
it's just what it is. You're a
You're not even
lifer.
thinking that.
Go.
Yeah, you
this
just
is
do
what I
it.
do.
Yeah.
Whether I do it in public or behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
Whether
But
anybody
it
know or
is.
not.
Some people do cut it off. They cut off the skill set.
And you know what? That's fine. I don't have a problem with those. I have a problem when people talk about it. Just let it fucking die
Yeah.
and have your glory. Keep moving.
Or the jaded,
Yeah,
or the jaded
I
ones.
put out an album once, that type of shit.
Yeah. Or the jaded ones who sit and talk about hobby rappers.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
online.
That's
Which
what.
kind of doesn't make any sense when you think of just like people doing art.
Yeah.
Because everyone can't make art and sell it in
On
a
a
way that
mainstream
like
level.
pays their bills enough to
Yeah.
have it. Because it's a hobby until it's a career, and it's only a career if you're making enough money. I think the money aspect.
It's only
You
a
know?
career because somebody convinced you to trade your art for money.
Yeah, because art has different
otherwise,
mediums. It sometimes
it's an exchange.
yeah. It's not always about the.
It's a perpetual exchange.
Yeah, because
But-
it's like jam niggas that just get up and jam every week for their whole life.
It's
And
more
they're just as
motherfuckers-
satisfied,
It's more people not making nothing doing art than people making money doing it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the scales up. Shit.
Yeah, so when
Definitely.
you even use terms like hobby rap, it makes no sense because it's like
The majority.
a lot of motherfuckers is not making they'll have you think it's a career or a viable fucking way to make money and pay bills, but they're not really making no money off of actual music. Their
Right.
money is coming from elsewhere. They would have you think that it's coming from the music, but it's not.
Nah.
So let me ask
And
you
they're
this.
not actually selling music. They just look like they sell music.
If we took away all the curtain of payment on doing art and music, whatever the art is, do you think you would have a more enjoyable career or pathway doing this shit? Like, if look at everything you've done. We stripped away just the idea of fucking money. It was just like, yo, this is what I do. I can pop out, boom, boom. Who gives a fuck? You already
Just go.
paid. You're not
Right.
worried about.
Yeah, it's already paid for.
Would it be a better journey for you?
I know too much I don't think so because I just think the path is the path. Once I realized I could sell music, it was like, okay, well, let's sell music. But it wasn't like, oh no, this is the plan. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things where people were like, oh, I'm willing to pay for this shit. It's like, oh, you willing to pay for this? But there were times where I got preoccupied with it. I think now knowing what I know, it just makes it more rewarding because I'm not chasing those things anymore,
Did the money ever compromise your music?
No.
That's
it was
the key.
never I
That's
wasn't
the
in
key.
that bracket yet where it's just like
That's the key.
here's a fucking $500,000, make this corny ass song.
Right,
I'm like, well, I don't know.
But it did get to the point
I
where
have made some music though that I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to make music for money that I wouldn't want to like share.
Right.
You know, so like, 'cause,
There you
you
go.
know,
Okay.
people might ask you to do a song or hop
Switch
on
'em
a
up.
track, and they might want to pay you, but the track is terrible,
I'm not.
or the rapper that they're asking you to rap with, it's like,
What am I doing?
man, they don't
Oh.
deserve to be on a song with me,
And then
you
that's
know.
the joint the motherfuckers gonna remember.
And that is
about you.
that's always a joint people bring up, or
I remember you
you
was
know.
on that joint with
Yeah, with MC whatever the fuck, and you're just like, yep,
JJ Icefish.
yeah. I never was in like a situation where I was just like, oh man, this is so much money, like, oh, I'm existential crisis sort of thing. But you know, I've definitely made some tracks where I was just like, I did this for the money.
You
I
got
did.
High and Mighty.
Like,
Yeah.
I fucking
Found
hear
that
it.
over there.
I think
Yep.
as a photographer and an MC and an artist, and seeing you guys and working on both levels with you as a comrade or as the person that's capturing y'all. Me personally, I think money is important because we all need money to live. You all need money to pay your art and get things done. And y'all need money to pay me when I take y'all pictures, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, I think it's relative.
Civil rights movement.
But
Yeah.
from my angle, I see how other people jerk artists.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll get paid. I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
But you may not get paid that.
yeah.
Unless you don't have your merch and your
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
your
The
stuff.
whole-
Yeah, the whole package with
Right.
you. You know, when it comes to the upfront money, no, I don't
The
see
last
that.
tour I went on, I wouldn't have went if gas wasn't paid for.
See?
I feel
If
you.
they said, "Oh, we got to split the gas," I probably would have been like,
Been there, done that.
you know, it's just it's got to
know?
be reasonable. So when you talk about money, like motherfuckers be like, "Oh, Psalm doesn't do as many shows." It's like because it doesn't make as much sense. Like it's gonna be, well, one, we've been doing this shit 25 years
Right.
plus.
Right.
We played damn near every venue there is to play.
Right.
I don't need exposure.
Right.
If I just wanted, if they would say, "Oh, what venue do you want to play in Chicago that you haven't played?" I'd say Salt Shed.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
And I haven't played it.
No
But
audience.
that's
Yeah.
it's just a new venue. New
Yeah.
venues usually be having like
The
nice
sound
ass amenities.
systems.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason. You know, it's just like, oh, it's a new venue. It's probably cool. It's probably some cool state of the art shit. You know, and it's probably just a cool ass situation. So yeah, I'd want to play
Don't
that.
the
But
South Shed got those like
Outside.
it's an
South
outdoor
side.
and an indoor.
It's an indoor.
they
and
got the
outdoor.
outdoor, right? Yeah, yeah.
Was you with us when we saw
It be
Thundercat there?
gang shows up there.
Nah, but
Yeah,
I think
for
I
sure.
seen
But then it's
Conway up there.
Okay.
With
And they
all
have
that being said,
soundproofing in there, right?
You might just want to go
Yeah.
rock the show.
Yeah,
just 'cause you
yeah,
feel
that's
like
the
rocking
place.
the show.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
fun.
saying?
It's fun. It's fun performing.
But you be like,
I
the
do that for
details on
free.
that.
Like, yeah, like for any friend that's just like, oh, I want you to come and rock a song or two. Like, if it's not gonna put me out, that's fine. And you definitely don't have to pay me for like a feature, but like just performing because it's like, oh, I ain't performed in a while. I got to do it, or I need the money. Like that's why I do like having other jobs, because I have been that artist that like I need to take this show,
yeah.
or I need to take this feature because I ain't got no other money coming in this month, so I got to take it. So it's like your heart. It's not necessarily anything you're passionate about. It's just something that you got to do to put some food on the table.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I feel blessed that I have been in positions where it's just like, damn, I need to put some food on the table. Let me go rap. You know what I mean? Like just the concept of that, just like I'm about to go rap for money and then like pay some.
We'll rap for change.
That shit's crazy, you know. But at the same time, it's like I never want to be that's what's motivating the art.
Right.
See, you've been fortunate to see that full spectrum from.
I like the whole get your money in other ways.
Right,
so then when you make your art, it's a
Mhm.
more true. I think it's just a more true testament to like where you are as a person.
Yeah.
You're not making anything out of desperation. Like I hate desperation raps. I hate desperation music that like.
Oh no!
Hear
That's
it.
kinda
You
what
know
it
how
is.
much desperation rap I heard? Oh my goodness, that's a new one.
7, 8 albums in a year, and it's like all of this
Yeah,
sounded the same.
yeah.
And you just want to make it so you could say you did all this work.
It's one
you know?
long session.
Yeah.
One hard drive full of.
And like, and there are some artists that will get my pass on that. You know, an artist like a Boldy J
We can use
pass
that.
in my world,
So
because he
we'll
almost
say
died.
that.
You know,
Keep that one
so
out.
like,
Okay.
you know, he's like,
That's for
nigga, I
us.
thought I was out of here. So yeah, you're gonna get 10 albums a year because you know, I'm thinking legacy.
Oh, Cuba.
You know, and I'm thinking like I almost died. So yeah, I'm gonna do this shit hard. You know.
Yeah.
This nigga.
But no, desperation shit that like
Yeah, we have
I
to
think
see.
it should be for you, for you. You know,
Yep.
rappers be like, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for
I think he
No,
used that out of limits.
Nah, I'm doing it for y'all to compensate me.
like if you're getting paid, if you're an artist that actually is on the level of like I got a hit, right, and the record label is like happy with me, then you gotta keep doing that shit.
Yeah. You're an indentured servant.
Yeah,
AKA.
those fucking lifestyle loans,
That's the shirt. Lifestyle loan.
man,
Lifestyle on.
Straight up and down.
That's serious.
That's what it be.
for
I'm-
real.
With
So,
that
I'm gonna
instrumental.
loan you this lifestyle, and after a while, you're gonna have to shit or get off the pot.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's heavy.
So, all right, on the independent side, you know, we're talking about the label side and all that. How important, or how many people do you think are misguided about the knowledge of just education and licensing?
Oh,
Just
most.
The paperwork,
Oh,
the
yeah.
business.
Most,
Behind the scenes.
most, and that's why the
Good
record
question.
industry still survives in this way. It's still so predatory because I think now we're in an era where like you do get an artist like La Russell, right? Who is
Stop.
who kind of got his first viral moment talking about how he told Rock Nation to go fuck themselves.
Really? What he said?
He said that it's a fascinating story actually. He said Rock Nation offered him a deal. It was like, we love what you're doing. Here's a deal. We're gonna give you like 20K. They said like 20K or 30K or something like that. They're gonna give him pretty low. And then he came back and he was like, yeah, I love the terms of the deal. Seems like you got a lot of things that you want to do together and it'll be great. But this number that you talking about giving me for an advance, nah, this is a terrible number. It's actually insulting. I definitely I'm not trying to work with y'all for this much money. Mans came back and said, "Oh, that was a mistake. Here's what that was a mistake. Forget that. Here's a new number. That number was a lot better." But then he said, as an artist, why would I want to sign with a label who made a mistake like that? There was like a difference of $100-something plus $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like a really good number. So it's just like the discrepancy even between those numbers
Yeah.
was so great that he was just like, this is a turnoff.
Yeah.
A lot of artists would have just took it. It wouldn't even have been a big deal to them. They just would have been like, oh yeah, I'll take that. But La Russell was like, if you saying this is a mistake and he make mistakes like this,
Then I can't.
I don't want to fuck with y'all
Yeah.
because I don't make big mistakes like this.
But then, you know, you gotta look at
That's kind of smart there,
his
Taiwan.
No, I'm saying you gotta look at his character. He knew his value.
He saw his
He
value
bullet.
rise and
long, not right now value. He knew he had long-term value.
yes, because he saw it growing in real time.
Yeah, fuck your 5K,
Right.
5 digits.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
See.
an 8-digit type of
Should
motherfucker.
offer that first.
But for every La Russell you get who's thinking about the paperwork, who is thinking about the back end and what it means, and has a lawyer look over the contract, you got 100 artists who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They will sign that paper as soon as you put that shit in their face.
For the 40K.
You know, because
For less.
It's interesting. Like, you know, you get your royalties, you get your ASCAP. You get your, well, you know.
And if you got a
whatever
hot
the
song,
distribution
you
is.
can clear a couple $1,000 a month, which
Yeah.
if you're not making
If it's
shit,
rotating.
if you go from 0 to a couple thousand a month, like you doing something, you know, it's attractive enough. But if you're not understanding, like,
Audio too.
if you're not understanding the logic behind it, you're kind of fucked.
This will be my shit for my whole life.
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
This song is perfect.
Shit.
feel no guilt. Yeah, this side was nasty.
I told you that box right there. It's some fun. Have fun digging in the records. So I'm pulling.
Every single time.
We got stuff all peppered in here somewhere.
Okay.
It just so happened that the Death of Frequent Flyer joint
It's where?
Burned it.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
What's your favorite album you done?
Me?
Mhm.
Oh, I really like I like Big Perm a lot.
Okay.
That's dope.
Well, yeah.
But Flight of the Wig, the one we just played something off,
Yeah.
I think that has my heart forever because that was the album where, like I said, like I was not thinking about rhyme sayers. I was like, fuck these niggas.
Right.
I'm gonna make the album I want to make. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna put it out myself. I'm gonna pay for everything. Fuck a label, paying for anything. I'm just pay for all the shit. I'm the label now. And to this day,
press the vinyl.
That was the first time. Is it the? No, it's not the first time, but it was the first time since Rhyme Sayers that I was like, I'm taking this shit back into my own hands. So like that was really important, and then it got like Bandcamp album of the day before I was really using Bandcamp heavy. So like my phone kept ringing off that day with like people being like, this person followed you, like all these followers on Bandcamp, and I was just like, what's that? What's going on? And then someone on Twitter was like, you got album of the day on Bandcamp. And then like I was like looking through the numbers and was like, whoa, hold on, this actually means something to my bottom line. You know what I mean? Like this is actually paying bills.
Yeah.
And to this day, Flight of the Wig is still my best-selling album. Like, you know, if I just don't talk numbers, it means that album means freedom for me, creative freedom. But if we do talk numbers, it worked. It's like the album that worked for me. Like if it was ever an album where I was like, this is what I'm gonna do, and these are my goals. So I hit the goals and then hit goals that I wasn't even looking to hit. So
it's crazy. So you know, I guess the trajectory of it now, like for me, Still Here.
Mm-hmm.
That's your album. That's you.
I'm not mad at it at all. I love it, but I can't climb out of the shadow of Still Here.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's what the people have.
Yeah, like that's the one. Yeah.
This is
that's your baseline now. You got to go from here.
And it's dope because the creation of it was so organic. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what I make, I know they want Still Here.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, me and Hadi, we you know, dance around a Still Here part 2, whatever.
Still here.
Just still here.
Still here.
Never
still hanging around.
Never left.
Right.
But I mean, you know, it's just crazy how we have no control of
how people receive it.
When we throw it out, all we do is throw it out. Because when I did that record,
I knew you was going.
I just threw that shit out.
Yeah.
It was. I just wanted to make something I wanted to hear.
Yeah, you just wanted to. Yeah.
Who knew?
That everybody else wanted to hear it too.
It's so wild how this shit goes. So really,
when you really like, they say the things. They say, "Oh, just be true to yourself," and you know what I mean.
Until you
like,
are.
Be yourself.
Until you are.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then you get these.
Be true to the self that I'm projecting you to be.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
What layer in film is this? You know.
Yeah, I think we in a good season though. Back for music.
What you looking for?
Shit.
Yeah.
I think we done heard
Underground is cool again.
One is
because the underground never goes away, right? But the underground is like cool again.
Yeah,
people being like, "Oh, have you heard of this artist?" Like, and when you haven't, people are like, think that's cool. Like,
we can talk about underground again, or that term don't exist no more.
Why?
I mean, we would say underground, but what's the new word for it?
No, they still call it that, don't they?
I thought so.
I thought the kids still call it underground shit.
Mean the same shit.
It might not mean
not for their artists.
It might not exactly mean.
They talking about y'all. They ain't talking about their young people, their generation.
There's a lot of artists that are just like not mainstream though, that are like who stream very well, who like have high YouTube. I think so. Though the numbers on like YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud, like they're not necessarily indicative of like how mainstream you are, because like there'll be an artist that you have never fucking seen or heard of, and then like you go look at their numbers and their real numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
Their
Yeah.
numbers is crazy,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
and like you look at the comments, and the comments are real.
Yeah,
people, like, going
real
crazy
people.
for them. You'd be like, I never heard of this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So like that's the metrics are different, but the idea is the same,
Yeah.
and that's why you can have, and that's why it's just crazy now because it does mean something different. Because I think the performances have suffered because of streaming. Because that's a metric that you can just say, oh, they stream well, they're like a viable artist, and they can make money for labels and shit, but they might not be able to like
And
sell
the
10
devil playing
tickets
fear
to a
inside
show,
the black
in their
baby.
own hometown,
But then for some
Go
of them,
crazy.
can they even carry that stage?
Right.
Yeah, and there's some where
Fast
like
in the
they
hall,
can
it's
sell
the
out
door.
because they do have the numbers and and they can bring the people out, but then like they're very bad at the actual performance part.
Like, how many times have you done a show where the other people on the bill are rhyming over their
vocals?
2-track?
That's insane. Yeah.
Only time I've
You
done
know
that
what
once, and
school
it was
we
a
from.
mistake.
You know the training we went through.
Yeah, there's that. That's just a
No punch
You're
ins,
not
nigga.
doing that.
No punch.
Like if anything you do, you know what they
Before.
Sprinkle
say.
me,
like,
man.
a
Hey, we was
track,
talking about him
meaning,
earlier,
like,
man.
you will have some things in there.
the hook.
A couple dubs, so maybe you can catch a breath.
Right.
Something maybe you don't want to do the hook.
Sprinkle me, man.
You know,
Y'all funny as hell.
but you're not rapping over your vocals.
That shit blows my mind.
Not in actually having a successful
How many actual
concert.
like artists that people think are really really good, and then they can't perform?
Oh, I seen a few.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Seen a few.
And not every artist has ever been like, oh, the greatest performer ever, but they can at least do it. You know, like we come from that. Like people can at least perform. You might not be blown away by their performance, but they're not rapping over their vocals. They have stage presence.
Racing.
They have decent breath control.
That's like sacrilege. If you can't say it here at rehearsal, you can't say that shit on stage.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
yeah.
When we was rehearsing,
Especially when we
back
started
in
like
high school,
chopping and double timing and shit.
Nah,
like,
change your bars.
like
Change your
yeah,
bar.
you gotta think about that when you're writing it.
Yep.
Because I'm
Cuz you switch up your flow. No, I gotta perform this shit.
Write some shit, and then they go to try to perform it. And it's like not
cluster
even possible.
fucker words.
Think I gotta say all this and I'm out of breath because I'm
Yeah,
three
and you start
songs
thinking
in. I've
about
been
it
running
when
around
you
on
can actually
stage.
start it.
Tired?
You're like, ooh, I gotta take a breath.
like free.
Where my breath at?
I'm writing
Yeah.
some stage
Yep.
shows.
Breath
See,
control,
they know
breath
how to
control.
chop.
Oh
Like,
shit.
Really chop.
Polyrhythmatics.
Learn your syllables.
Look at
Once
this
you
shit.
Start understanding where can I breathe.
A
Sure.
party.
And what words can I breathe while I'm kind of talking and
Exactly.
shit like
be
that, like
trying to
little
peep it up.
nuance. But that makes your breath control like go from just
I used to be
regular.
the homie back in the day.
Because that's one thing that I realized.
Yeah.
Sometimes
she's
I think
still
about it, I'd be like, yo, what advantage would we have over like new great artists, new great acts, new performers that are great, you know? And I get reminded when I perform, and it's breath control.
Yeah.
Just being, we trained on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, not sounding shaky on the mic and things like that, and like not sounding, even if you smoked a bunch of blunts, like not sounding winded and all that shit. That's like that's an art. It's an art within the art. So
You be
it's just
hurting
like,
me. It's
when
empty.
people like compliment me on that, they compliment me because they don't hear that shit all the time.
Right.
You might go to 10 shows a month, but you're not hearing great breath control.
And
Like
that's raw.
every
authentic.
rapper.
That's practice and skill
But
and
you know what?
effort.
Yeah, that's just very much.
But it's
experience.
rare though,
We lived
which
in a
is
special
crazy.
time because remember when we used to have rehearsal, we used to get fucked up.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
But we would.
But that breath was still
we would do
breathing.
the set like 30-minute set, multiple times straight back to back. If you can do it slightly skewed,
hmm
you're gonna be a monster
Yeah.
in real time. And we smashed.
yeah,
I mean,
drunk and shit.
listen. You know, I know it might sound nostalgic for anybody, popping in, but it's like, listen, stuff you had to be there to witness. I look at this camera like Arsenio.
With the finger.
This one dog cam.
Yeah, that's
the
your
finger.
camera. That's
Shout out Arsenio just because.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Arsenio.
But no, I mean, you really had to take this. We didn't have the luxury to not take it serious coming from hip.
It was very serious.
You know, it was,
Everything was very serious, bro.
you
Yeah.
know,
Even if it was just like just having the respect of your peers.
yeah.
Like I didn't never want to come off stage and see
I got
you or
some.
Kaz being like, "Damn, son, what happened?" That would have been like devastating.
But that wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen, but just the knowing that that's where we're cut from, like
Right.
we're actually trying to like not only do the thing, but kind of impress each other a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we always impressed each other.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know. Yeah, I've never.
Because you
been
definitely don't
disappointed.
want the weak link. You don't want to be rapping with the weak links.
No, hell,
That
you don't want to be forgotten. You may not have the best bar on there,
Nah, I ain't
but
getting
you
washed.
don't want nobody to forget you was on there.
Yeah, I ain't getting
Yeah,
washed.
nah.
Like, oh, you was on that joint? No, I wasn't.
People. He's like, nope, that wasn't me. That was other.
Yeah, I'm always excited about new music and shit. It's just I think for me, my terms have shifted over the years. They've evolved. Like the why has changed.
Yeah, and it's like, what haven't you said? Like for me, it's just like I can write songs, and
I'm just coming
you know,
out
like
through
what am I
here.
saying? Like what
Yeah.
what are these like sort of elder raps? What are we talking about?
I got to the point where I felt like I said everything I wanted to say.
Sure.
So then I had
This
so
three.
and I had
So
this
then
analogy.
how do you build on that when you're actually
Cool.
satisfied? You know?
What is that?
That's dangerous. You know, you might work so hard, you're trying to chop this mountain down, and you chopping, then you get to the top of the mountain, and you realize you never
That's what I was thinking.
poured 10 other mountains to conquer.
Yeah.
So now you're stuck for a second.
Watch you switch.
I went through that shit. I'm out of it now.
Yeah.
That
So
shit
there's
is
new
dangerous.
things to
That's
talk
literally what
about
he
in
was
your
doing.
living.
Bullshit.
Traveling,
Right.
what you do, and
Right.
you know, kids and like just life things. You know,
Yeah.
it's about making it some shit that you want to hear.
Yeah. I hear that on this. I mean, I obviously, they gonna ride me. I haven't done the shit. It's not public yet, but Proof album,
That's the one you sent me.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that shit's dope. I listened to it that day.
that's like
That's all you need.
reintroduction.
Sure.
Like, okay,
Yeah, you popping your shit
Yeah,
for sure.
he gonna come hard too. That album hard.
Whenever you get it done,
No,
It's
no,
done.
It's done. It's just haven't been presented yet because I'm still.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership, number one, but then also, I'm a firm believer in
No,
tangible
just
profit.
switch that.
Absolutely.
So start yours and then you blend them.
I really only want to put shit out on vinyl.
Sure.
I don't give a fuck about the digital.
Yeah.
I know I need it. I know I'm not gonna win the war or the battle.
Well, it depends. Your need is dependent upon what your goal is. Because for you right now, you do just vinyl. You're creating a different type of legacy.
All I care about is money. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. So that's all you got to do. That's your
But if
legacy.
you want people to have access,
But see,
that's
that's
the
the
only
thing.
thing.
You
It's
want
like you
access.
see somebody on the street, you meet somebody randomly, and then they say, and you
They
don't
gonna
have
ask.
merch on you.
Yeah.
Have a good conversation with them, and then they say, "I want to check out how do I support you?" And all they know is Spotify.
So here's the
It
yeah.
gives you that access. You can say, "Yeah, I'm on Spotify." That's the only thing. Cause I mean, I get my little royalty checks, and that's fine. I get to pay a couple bills with them.
0.0058.
But that shit ain't exactly. It's
Yeah.
like you look at the breakdown and you're like, for this little funky $500 or whatever, this shit got spun a gazillion times, and like that's like just two good merch nights,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because every time I rap in the physical on stage, I sell merch. It could be 20 people in the audience. I'm gonna sell a good amount of merch. So
Yeah.
everybody buys something, I'm eating.
That's the key.
And that's what I've done. That's been a big thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, no, we gotta have merch.
I
Like,
think
we gotta have vinyl, because when I rap,
That's when you really get to make your money.
That's when I really sell music.
So basically, you're using Spotify and digital to
Just
bring
so
people
have
to
access,
the
just
show.
For people, yeah, just for people to be like, when you're out in the world and people say, "Oh, are you on Spotify?" You can just say yes.
That would be my response. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, but no,
I mean, but see, everything is searchable. It's on there. But it's like you said.
Some people that's just
one
all
night.
they know, you know.
Right. So you can't be mad.
So you just want to, and you don't have to, you know. Like there's a lot of artists who like fuck Spotify, taking it all down. It's like my Bandcamp has way more shit than my Spotify has. You know?
So you like Bandcamp versus Spotify?
Oh yeah, all day.
Well,
but the Bandcamp is corporate now.
Are you putting your stuff directly on Spotify?
What do you mean?
So, you know, with your digital distribution, are they? What's the word? Let me think.
the aggregator.
Yeah, I can't think of the name right now, but you know, for my distributor, anytime I put some shit up, they distribute it. I don't have to do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It gets.
Oh no, I do
curried.
it. I do it directly.
Right, so
I'm
that's what I'm
uploading
asking for
to
your Spotify.
TuneCore and shit.
My shit on Spotify, I didn't put it,
It's all there.
but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have to curate my stuff because I'm grandfathered in
Mm-hmm.
with the distributor I have.
Okay.
Like new artists can't even get the distribution I got.
Right.
But yours
Doesn't
be
exist.
everywhere, just automatically.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
framework doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't even
crazy.
buy into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just because
You've been there
it's
since day one.
advantageous to the artist,
Yeah.
Sure.
and that's not.
And when we were first doing digital deals, it wasn't streaming wasn't really a thing.
No.
So it was a little bit more advantageous because niggas didn't know how much bread was really to be made
Right.
off of streaming. And like honestly, it's not advantageous to the artists anymore. They don't even tell us what a stream is.
No, you got to sell a certain amount before it even.
And it's different on every
Every
it's
platform
different
is
on every platform, so they pay you different. So you can't even say, oh, it's worth this much
And then
because it's only
not-
worth this much here.
Right.
Right.
You
Then
know,
it's still a percentage.
Yeah.
It's never
Hey,
whole.
never, ever.
Same
Crazy.
thing with the cast when we have it on there.
Yep.
There's different numbers from different sites.
Podcast?
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Because it goes to the same
Yeah,
same
Facebook
channel.
pays a good amount,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Twitter don't pay great unless you're like
I'm
making
fine.
race wars, I guess.
I understand
Start
the
race wars, they give you a lot
Controversy,
of
right.
money.
I'm okay with the exchange of, let's say, hosting or whatever. If I have, it's like a store, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
I
put
carry
my
your
stuff,
shit.
If you carry my shit, you get your little cut. Boom.
Mhm.
It's perpetual with these motherfuckers, and they
Damn.
dictate the terms. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is when I go back to the tangible shit.
Yep.
Everything we said is fine and dandy, and it's great. I get it. I understand it. I love it. I hate it. But I know I could go pop off 100 records
Right.
and be
I eat.
eat.
What do you mean 100 records are your records?
Yeah, just selling them hand to hand.
Selling vinyl.
If I sell 100 vinyl, I'm eating way more than
You're
if I'm like chasing.
doing a million streams,
And
right?
then with that, you can reinvest
Yeah,
for the next
yeah,
project.
just keep it
Pop
going.
100 more, take care of some things,
Yeah.
whatever. Just let the campaign roll. But it's just like, if you have to rely on the stream to live, and you're not making them 7-figure streams,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then those just feels like so corporate,
right?
you know. So if you're not constantly giving them the next 10 million streamer, you know,
Mold.
then you're kind of like
Water.
fucked in their eyes. They're not gonna give you the
They put
same
over-
budget. You see it all the time.
I
When
don't
the
know where
artist
it
is
is
like,
right
oh,
now.
they got
Hold
the
on.
budget, and then they don't have the budget, and you be like, yo, what the
then
fuck?
It's still kind of cool to be the anti
I don't see it.
in the story because
Sure.
there's a
If they can come out of that, I always respect
There's
that.
a
Got one in
category
the
of
bag.
fan
Never mind.
that's fucking with you simply
Sure.
because
Where
you're
you
not on that same spectrum. What you mean?
The rag.
You know what? The record back.
Oh, that's it? All right. Oh, okay.
I gotta go
I got
soon. Unfortunately, we can stay here all damn night.
No, this is awesome.
I got one.
Okay.
I have to come back not in like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Come
No,
back
we
soon.
good. It's all good.
Not in 2 years.
That's hey,
all good.
that's the short one.
What?
That one you got.
This the one
Yeah.
that what? Huh?
that he borrowed forever.
Right, it's been in his bag.
I'm gonna borrow.
You was looking for this?
Backing up
I thought
slow.
you had numerous of these.
You know I wasn't looking for it? Because every time you come, I see you with it.
And he had it.
I know where it's at. It still works.
Yeah, right.
When
Ain't
I
going
saw him
nowhere.
one day, I was like, this is the best cloth for wiping.
Your lenses.
Yeah.
I never seen it again since that day.
Are we still shooting?
Yeah, it's still
But
on.
that's how it goes. So
Yeah.
It ends.
But we about to end now. We 3
Oh, 'cause
hours.
I just want to go to the restaurant.
No, you can do it. Just, yeah,
So I don't
take-
want y'all hearing all that.
Nah, we good.
Yeah.
You know, this is so loose. It just ends.
Yeah.
yeah, we
There's
just